Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. Michigan Dodgeball Cup, game 2 of the day here. Court 1, we have Michigan State against Grand Valley State. Michigan State coming off a big win against Saginaw, 3-2. Kevin, some of your observations from the game earlier.
Yeah, so an interesting first game. Michigan State obviously took the W over Saginaw Valley State. The final score of that one was 3-2. And one thing I saw from Michigan State, it seemed like they weren't fully playing within their strategy that they did 2 weekends ago at Grand Valley, as we see Ben Smart take down Jack Hilt over there on the far side. So I think in this game, we need to look for Michigan State, see if they're going to be committed to their strategy and play it the entire game, because it seemed at times in the last game they weren't disciplined enough, and that's where Saginaw was able to come back and get some points.
Yeah, nice throw there by Coda Gallagher. Oh, must have missed low. All right, you'll see Michigan State, they brought out this new kind of strategy where they huddle together, sort of like an elite tournament ahead of time. You got to wonder whether or not it costs them a little bit of time, but they're sticking to it. It's like Josh Hill and Dennis Sullivan trading some throws there. Throw bottom half of your screen there by Brian Haynes. Oh, Brent Weekland. Oh, nice hit on Blake Clevenger. Colin Freeman controlling the top of the court there. Another throw by Sullivan. Kevin's working on his headset. He'll be back in just a second here. All right, welcome back, Kevin. So we talked a little bit about Michigan State. They've gone to this different strategy where they're huddling a little bit. Maybe cost them a little bit of time, but they're sticking to it. Nice catch by Brian Haynes. He's looking for another there.
Yeah, and I think one thing for any of the viewers who haven't seen much of Grand Valley or Michigan State this year, you're going to see a lot of talented dodgeball players on the court. Michigan State, as you have mentioned in the past, it's well documented that they are one of the most talented teams in the country, if not the most talented team. And yes, they are inexperienced still, and that was too easy of a hit for Josh Hill, captain for GVSU.
You can see number 6, Rory, he's just kind of shaking his head. I think he just kind of got frozen there for a second.
Yeah, as I was saying, though, Michigan State, yes, they're inexperienced, but they can make up for that with their talent. And when they have momentum on their side, they are such a dangerous team. That's one thing we've seen in the past, so keep an eye on that if they're able to win this first point. You never know. Uh-oh, here we go.
Skinner. Boy, when he gets a full head of steam like that, I couldn't tell. Okay, he did get Jack. He's a little screened there by Evan Barra, so I couldn't tell if that was a hit.
Yeah, and Evan Barra actually, from up here, it looked like he stepped out of bounds. For all of those who might not know the college dodgeball format, we play where on the sideline, all you have to do is have one point of contact in bounds and you're safe. He stepped out with 1 foot, but he lifted up the foot that was in bounds, so he could have been called out.
Yep, as long as you keep a point of contact in, you'll see a lot of these players slide back to try to make a catch, and as long as they keep that toe on the line, they're going to be good to go. Dennis Sullivan controlling the middle for Michigan State. He's got their only ball now. Gathers another.
Okay, and a big ball over.
So Grand Valley had complete control there. Had 8 of the 10 balls and just gave it up. We'll see what Michigan State can do to sort of grab some momentum here now, and if they can keep ball control. Eric Nelson, head ref, reminding Michigan State that it is not a timeout, so they can't huddle and take time. There he goes. He's not waiting. I like that. I like that by head ref there. And down goes Britt Skinner in the middle. One of Grand Valley's more powerful arms taken out there. And Michigan State will reset. Bottom of our screen.
That was a huge balls over, though, in terms of it looked like Grand Valley was just starting to take grasp of the game, and they had their strategy working. So
yeah, momentum stopped on a dime there for Grand Valley. Team throw misses the mark on Nolan Stanko at the bottom of your screen here. Ben Smart going to push the pace for Grand Valley. Grand Valley's now managed to get 4 of the balls back. That should have been an easy catch.
And when you take a look at Grand Valley's side of the court, as Ben Smart nice hit. Max Antilla, I think, made that throw. He's a third-year player for Michigan State, actually one of their most experienced players. And that's a team catch.
That's a second already for Michigan State at this point.
Nolan Stanko with that catch, scooped it off the ground.
Brings in an overtime player, so that's a big catch for them. Blake Clevenger's back in, one of their better players.
Oh, good dodge by Weakland. And when you look at Grand Valley's side of the court, this is basically their overtime roster in the game, or close to it, minus Ben Smart in the outline.
Yep.
You've got a lot of great players in still. So
a couple storylines to think about here. We've got a couple Rookie of the Year candidates here. On Grand Valley side, we've got Tyler Peach. Haven't called his number yet today. And then on the Michigan State side, Barry Butler, who just had an absolutely phenomenal game against Saginaw Valley. He's actually starting the game out. Maybe they wanted to rest him for the first point. He put the team on his back for about 7 minutes there, and that'll drain anybody. Brent Weakland, odd-looking block by Blake Clevenger. Refs called it good.
Ooh, long throw there. And that was
96, Thomas Williamson.
Yep.
Called his number a lot last week, also a rookie. 2 weeks ago.
Sullivan with the throw there. And both teams, a slow first point. This is what we see often in the Michigan State versus Grand Valley rivalry. You're going to see a slow first point as both teams sort of feel each other out, see what the strategy is like, see how the other team's playing, if they've changed anything from the last time the two teams have faced off.
There's one storyline to watch here. I guess I wouldn't call it a storyline, but we have a different officiating crew than the last game. So for those of you who saw the last game in the stream, there were some pretty tight windows for what would be considered a legal throw. So we'll see if Eric Nelson and his crew has that tight of windows as well. And Kevin, why don't you kind of explain what I mean by that for any viewers? Maybe they're new to the NCDA. Different dodgeball leagues have different rules. So
what exactly?
What constitutes a legal throw here? You can't just roll the ball.
So what it's actually called is the LAZ, which is the legitimate attempt zone. So as you see this, Dennis Sullivan came up to throw. That throw was within the LAZ because basically it was within a dive of the closest player. So when you look at as Grand Valley comes up to throw, that throw was low and it didn't hit anyone, but it was within, if either of those players for MSU would have dove for it. Oh, and a dropped catch there. Missed it.
Sullivan got bailed out there.
So basically the whole point is it forces you to make a throw that is legitimate and within reach of a player on the opposing team. You can't just waste a ball into the ground, roll it to the other side, throw it too high and out of reach. It has to be legit. And that's one of the things to keep an eye on with these two teams early in this game. There's two great catching teams when you are throwing the ball up into their bread baskets. So you got to be careful.
Weakland takes out Janowskis there at the bottom of your screen.
And Weakland's a guy to keep an eye on this game. He's one of the guys when it comes to reset throws and also just pushing in transition, which is two of the things that MSU needs to be great at this game. He's one of the best at it.
Yeah, if anybody watched that Michigan State Saginaw game, him and Barry Butler carried it from
is that a catch?
Catch by Josh Hill. Oh, no, they're saying, okay, head ref Eric Nelson definitely calling that a catch there. Weakland not happy about the call, but I was trying to say he was on the court for a long time, and he's a very tough out, and you're right, he can just bury it in the dirt close enough for it to be a good throw.
Easy catch there, wow.
Easy catch to Nolan Stanko, brings in Colin Freeman.
Brian Hayes from Michigan State came up, and he had a bit of a sidearm throw where it just floated, and you got to be careful when you're throwing sidearm that it doesn't just stay up like that. Nolan Stanko, easy catch.
So in terms of player advantage here now, Grand Valley's pulled back even. We're looking at about 8-8 here.
8 on 8. Yep. First point of the game here.
Skinner and Ben Smart, first two in the queue for Grand Valley. That's big if they come up with another snag.
Oh, what a hit there. Evan Barra clips him in the foot. That's just a textbook throw. Yep.
Not going to get out of the way of that one.
Sullivan. Come on.
Sullivan with a drop catch.
Got to make that catch. That would have been huge. that would have took out an MVP candidate, Nolan Stanko, on that play, but instead Stanko gets lucky and stays in there.
So Michigan State maintaining ball control here. They'll retreat. Long throw by Josh Hill, just misses Ben Traub, who's going to push the pace from the middle.
Good throw by Hill. For those who don't know, he tore his labrum a year and a half ago, I believe, and he had surgery on it.
Nice cross by Coda Gallagher, taking out Jack Hilt on the top of your screen there.
Yep.
So Grand Valley, despite being down players for a little while there and not having ball control since they gave up that balls over, has really played their way right back into it.
And Grand Valley historically is one of the most resilient teams in the country. If you lose a little bit of an advantage and momentum, they're able to come back usually and figure it out. They're good at adjusting strategy. What a catch. Nice catch by number 6 for MSU.
Yep, brings in Max Antilla.
And that sort of ties into what I was about to say, which is Michigan State, they may not be the most consistent when it comes to being able to control their emotions and all of that, but when they have momentum, they are dangerous. And this is a nightmare scenario for Grand Valley right now. Coming down to the end of the first point and Michigan State has momentum on their side right now, this could turn into an MSU 1-0 lead, which I believe is what happened to start last game.
Side ready, dodgeball.
So that was head ref Eric Nelson, who we've got a mic down there on the court, trying to make it as close to being on the court feel for you viewers at home. So for those of you just joining us here, this is the second game on our featured court. Earlier, Michigan State with a big victory, 3-2 over Saginaw Valley.
Grand Valley backing up now.
Grand Valley down to 6 players on their side, so they're 1 away from the 10 count. And Max Antilla gets taken out. A nice team throw from Nick Hale and Josh Hill. And another team throw just misses number 6, Ethan Rohrig.
I'm impressed by how quickly they were able to set that up. That's one thing. That's what separates a good team from a great team is communication at that level.
Yep. I like having the microphone down there on the court. We kind of hear their count. Can't hear them calling out plays, but it's kind of fun. It makes you feel like you're right down there with them. Nolan Stanko was looking at Lico, took a throw at Ben Traub, almost caught him sleeping. Nice block. Stanko running again. Nick Hale, a nice low throw just bounces into Ben Traub.
And right now we're looking at 6 on 6. First point of the day, and it's a slow point back and forth. Okay, and they call 96 out there, Williamson.
Nice hit by Stanko and Hill back-to-back.
Back-to-back clipped him in the legs. 4 left for MSU.
That'll put MSU on the 10 clock now, so we'll see how they manage this. That's not going to be a good throw.
They don't have any other balls on their side. Yep. If I'm Grand Valley, I set up a team throw right here.
Yep, they just missed on the team throw. 1 high, 1 low on Evan Barra.
So it should have probably been balls over, but they didn't continue the count, it looks like. So, what a
snag by Evan Barra on Colin Freeman's throw.
And right after Colin Freeman got caught, he caught the ball that was thrown at him, and he just had to drop it because he was out.
Yeah. So Tyler Peach missed the target there.
Catch.
Nolan Stanko makes a long throw. Him and Josh Hill, a little miscommunication there.
Nick Severin, I believe a rookie from Michigan State, makes that catch. He's a guy that in the fall semester, he was a last man standing a lot, but never really came up with those huge plays. And now we got a balls over, so all the momentum on the Spartan side.
Alrighty, so now,
Timeout.
and it looks like Michigan State's going to call a timeout. They're about to. You can hear Brandon Meisel not happy with the head ref right now. Looks like Michigan State's going to call a timeout. They did call a timeout. I heard Kevin say, let's get our throwers in, so they might be subbing Barry Butler in.
And he has a fair complaint there. The counts on that play should have been even, and they made a bit of a mistake. But still, that does not take away from the fact that Michigan State's made a couple big plays lately, 2 catches.
So this is how good these 2 rookies are for Michigan State. They're subbing them in. Gerling and Barry Butler trying to get their throwers in. They want to be aggressive and take this point.
Yeah, and Jack Gerling is a guy that maybe we haven't talked about that much, but he last tournament at GVSU, he was a guy that stepped up and looked at home on the court, even though it was his first year on the team.
Overtime 6. Overtime 6. All right, so coming out of the timeout here, Michigan State's going to, moving from your radio dial right to left here, going to come up and set something up here.
Wow, Josh Hill
Great
survived.
dodge.
So they went for the captain for GVSU, Josh Hill, in his first year as captain. He survives a two-ball team throw, and now they've got 2 balls on their side. It's going to be a reset throw.
Yep.
Good reset and get back. The thing is, Michigan State has 6 left, so they are not on the 10 count. They can use that to their advantage right now.
Oh, what a throw by Nick Hale.
Unbelievable.
Evan Barra did not see that one coming. And now after this throw, State will be on the 10 clock as well.
Oh, nice hit.
Josh Gerling gets the credit for the kill there.
That's not going to count for GVSU, and we got a balls over. Big play.
All right, so we got Josh Hill and Tyler Peach on the court.
I mean, their time wasn't finished yet, but yeah. Hey, you guys are on a 10. Side ready, dodgeball.
All right, Eric Nelson getting them started quickly. Again, it was a balls over, not a timeout.
5,
And it looks like they're going to be targeting the captain again.
7. Hey, don't shout it.
Nice dodge by Josh Hill.
Just
Not sure what's happening there.
so I believe Grand Valley called a timeout. So that's
smart move. As soon as the balls are released and they're on that side, you call a timeout. You keep them over there. Maybe not. Little confusion as to what happened there.
Next number you're going to say is 6 because you're 5. It's going to be 6 when you start. I got you. Thanks.
Michigan State maintained all the balls there. I'm not 100% sure what happened. We'll see if they adjust their throw. Josh Hill has been jumping every time they put a team throw on him, so we'll see if someone puts one high.
Yeah, so that was tough because he did dodge both of those throws, but that's one of the more common ways to call a timeout is when there's a ball's over. MSU came up to throw. After 5 seconds surpassed, Brandon called a timeout, and now MSU has less time to make this team throw. So they only have 5 seconds. They're going to be a little bit more rushed. You're not going to have them making a team throw in as much of a rhythm. 2 guys left for Grand Valley. Their captain, Josh Hill, and then Tyler Peach, a Rookie of the Year candidate. And he makes a catch.
Catching it out, but that brings in Britt Skinner.
Huge
I got to
catch.
tell you, a couple weeks ago, Britt Skinner was really good when they got down numbers.
Yeah. And he's calling for a ball that's...
No, it's not in play.
It's going to be balls over.
Counts have to be even there.
All right, so the counts were, so this is a very, very rare call. The counts were exactly even because of the balls over and then one throw to GVSU. With the counts being exactly even, if they both are shot clock violations at the same time, it goes to even 5 and 5. So each team has 5 balls, and that ended up working out pretty well for Grand Valley. And they've got a shot here.
Yeah, this is big here. Now they have some ammo. You can make a team throw. They can also protect themselves. They've got State back down on the 10
Yeah, they're on the 10
now.
count, and you have 2 veterans for GVSU against 3 rookies and Brent Weekland. So I honestly think it could go either way. Great block. Good throw and block by Weekland. He's so good at that. Oh, lucky.
Britt Skinner.
Skinner looked away.
He looked away. Weekland basically threw the ball at his blocker. Josh Hill just missing that ball. Jack Gerling with a low throw on Britt. Britt's going to run. Full head of steam.
And
Just
that
misses.
player for MSU was close to stepping out. He's got to be careful. Good throw. Good throw by both.
Gosh. Weekland with another nice block. Haven't ever said that before.
Ooh, a risky throw towards Skinner. You got to be careful. He's one of Grand Valley's best catchers. Wow, coming down to the wire here. Point number 1, GVSU against MSU.
Oh, Skinner just Lights up Jack Gerlin.
He didn't care about the placement. He just threw it through his chest. Josh Hill to throw. Oh, and he takes out Weakland. 2 left for MSU. All right, good throw by Kramer, a rookie from Michigan State. And he's a good catcher, so keep an eye on him here. Great dodge.
Skinner is bringing it right now, let me tell you.
Yeah, and he's calling for another ball. MSU's going to have to throw. Nick Severin's got a ball in his hand.
And he's frozen there.
And it's ball's over.
It's ball's over.
So
he had his whole team counting, and he looks a little confused there.
it is balls over. I mean, they had no ball on their side, and when Britt threw, it gives them 1 ball. They're both on the exact same 10 count.
No, Severin had a ball in his hand the whole time, but they were counting that.
Yeah,
he got.
So
I don't know what
he's just got to have a little bit more awareness and understand that when the throw comes to your side, the counts are going to be even. So that count that he was hearing, he thought it was just for Grand Valley, but it was for both teams. Looks like we have a timeout call.
Yep, Grand Valley went ahead and called a timeout. I don't think they want to mess around. They want to get this point. Give Josh and Britt a little bit of extra time here, a little breather.
Yeah, so while we have a minute to breathe here, what are your thoughts so far? One thing that I want to point out, and I know we mentioned him before, GVSU rookie Tyler Peach came up with that humongous catch down here when it was a ball's over and there was 2 players left for GVSU. He made a massive catch, and that swung the whole game. And he's a guy that we talked to Grand Valley's leaders early on in the day, and they said, listen, I understand that Barry Butler's probably the MVP or the Rookie of the Year front runner at this point, and he stood out so much this year, but we think Tyler Peach should be in that discussion. They say he comes to practice an hour early, he works with Ben Smart on his throws, and you can see he's gotten so much better at both his throwing and his catching abilities. So he's a guy that you've got to keep an eye on when it comes to Rookie of the Year, and he made a huge play there.
When you make a big play in a big game, it's going to get you noticed, and that was a play that turned this thing around.
And here's, that's going to be a team catch. Nice team.
So
we got a stoppage.
But we're going to see what happened there. So
there should be 8 minutes and 12 seconds left.
Dylan Fettig down there pulling double duty, trying to get some courtside footage and also working the clock. So a little confusion. I'm not sure. I think what Michigan State did is they did what Brandon did earlier. As soon as they threw, or right before he threw, they called a timeout, not letting them get set up. That might come back to bite them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Yep, so timeout was before the throws.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You said balls have to be off the court to start, right?
To start the point, they all have to be on the baseline. That's a rule.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
I've never heard that rule.
At least it used to be a rule.
They have to forfeit the point then, right? Isn't that a rule too? It's never. That's the dumbest rule I've ever heard. I agree.
I'm so happy we have this on-court mic right now. That was Peyton Schuster. I wish we could mic him up for an entire tournament. That would just be
so a rule dispute, and actually we need to check and see if that's even a rule still. I know that back when I played, at least,
Kevin's making shit up.
Sorry about that. We need to get a little a bleep button here.
So anyway, they got a balls over, so they got 2 throws here. And team throw again. Oh, what a catch!
Catch by Kramer.
Hill goes down. 1 player left. It's just Skinner.
Skinner against Haynes.
It's going to be MSU's throw. Watch look for a catch here.
Britt is saying that ball was nowhere near me.
Yeah, a little bit of complaining.
He's got a beef there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
He's got a beef. Nice dodge.
Uh-oh. Someone's getting a hit here. Oh, my. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Brian Haynes with a chance.
Haynes. Oh! I can't believe it.
Wow. Unbelievable.
1-0 Michigan State.
Oh, no.
You can't make that up.
That's an odd
This is an incredible game right now. Wow.
What just happened, Tony?
So Britt Skinner just absolutely blew up one of the MSU players. I can't remember who the other guy was that was on. I believe it was Josh Kramer. Brian Haynes gets a good bounce, gets the ball right away, and immediately starts running down Britt, but he took too long. I thought he took way too long to set up that throw.
But also Skinner didn't grab a ball, and if I'm him in that situation, I grab 2 balls in my hand,
and then I let him charge.
Let him throw at me. I'll block it, and I'll run him down in transition. But Skinner was confident in his catching, and to be fair, he had it right there. He should have made the catch.
Hit him in the chest. He got lucky. It bounced straight up. Had a chance to make the catch again, and then missed. Haynes had nothing to be able to try to throw a second one at him to move him. Wow. You normally don't see that from GV. But what a heck of a first point here. We've only got 7:20 left in this half, so
that's one of the bigger groups.
That point took almost 18 full minutes out of the 25 minutes that we have in the half. So we'll see. We'll see if Grand Valley can scrape together a point here and tie this thing up before halftime.
When we have Michigan State play Grand Valley, it's always fireworks. That's all I'm saying.
This season has been, some of these games have just been phenomenal.
I cannot believe what I just saw.
Could we be looking at another Game of the Year candidate?
Yeah, I mean, so far, yes.
State ready. Grand Valley ready. Dodgeball.
So for those of you, Peyton Schuster said sometimes better to be lucky than good. He knew his team got bailed out on that one. Ben Smart with a good start, but Dennis Sullivan takes Ben Smart out.
And Stanko goes down too. So it's Smart and then Stanko, and Coach Brandon Meisel already talking to Smart. He's probably saying, if I'm him, I'm saying, you're more valuable than one out for the other team. And that's a catch, right, so Smart already back in.
Yep.
So that's one thing is, for Grand Valley, they didn't get buried. They're 2 top players there. At least they didn't get buried in the outlet.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if that one should have been.
Some tight windows again. Some tight windows again here from the refs. I like it, though. You can't just take for granted that your throw is going to count.
You need to make sure that the throw is legitimate, but at some point it's too many stoppages for balls over. So there's a happy medium there, and I think the refs are doing a good job so far.
So if you're Michigan State, all right, you've already got a couple guys in the outline here, but you really want to slow this thing down.
And Smart back in, makes a throw.
Yeah, you can see Michigan State, even though they've got ball control, they're huddling up. They're just drawing up solo throws. I think they're going to try to just basically bleed it out. There's only 6 minutes left.
And while we're here, one quick storyline to keep an eye on. Grand Valley's the last undefeated team.
Yeah.
Ohio lost earlier today to Miami.
Yep. Could we see another one, another undefeated go down today?
I mean, this is turning into a chaos day of dodgeball in the NCDA.
You love to see it. And nice counter by Josh Hill on Barry Butler.
Oh, wow.
What a catch by Jake
All
Lico.
hands. He caught that with his fingertips, like it was easy.
Jake Lico's been known to make a few highlight reel catches in his couple years on the team here.
Yeah. And one thing to think about right now, as Josh Hill makes a catch. Weakland that's so uncharacteristic for Weakland to make that throw.
Yep. It brings in Stanko, so that's the firepower Grand Valley needs.
And as I was saying, though, there's 5 minutes to go, 5:07 right now. So both these teams, if you're not going to get a point here, you got to play smart and not give up a point.
Yeah.
So play aggressive to an extent.
Yeah, I think Grand Valley's going to play aggressive until they know that they're going to run out of time. We'll see. Wow, Coda Gallagher with a rocket, but nice block by Brian Haynes.
Too many sloppy throws for Grand Valley. If I was Grand Valley's coach, I would like to see them get a little closer and make throws with a little bit higher percentage. Right now they're making low percentage throws.
Yeah, they're kind of playing a volume game, thinking we just need to throw and get kills.
They're playing quick.
It's not working.
Yep. And right now the ball advantage is on their side. And you see Lico's angry over there. He's yelling at his team. You only have 1 ball on your side and then 2 sitting right there out of reach.
Yeah.
Grand Valley's got to execute a couple hits here. Ooh, nice
hit
throw
by Colin Freeman, high chest area.
Antilla's going to push up, grab that ball. If you're number 11 right there, you got to get a ball. And Haynes has one as well. They've got to step up and get an extra ball on their side there. Just a showdown here. I don't know who's going to throw first. Nice hit by Antilla. And he stays alive. Wow.
Stanko missed him there. It takes out Nick Hale.
You're looking at 3:50 left in the first half now.
Someone got Antilla on a late throw there.
Okay, it just barely clipped him then.
All right, so Michigan State down to 7 players. If Grand Valley can get them on the 10 clock. Nice throw by Britt Skinner. Coda Gallagher. Oh, nope, that was Josh Hill takes out Brian Haynes.
Yes, so now you're looking at a 10 count. There's 5 players or less. It goes down to 10-second shot clock instead of 15. Is that a catch?
No,
it's ground. It's ground.
That's
okay.
a good call.
It is. I thought it was ground.
Britt
Skinner's out.
This is a catch there. So we've got just over 3 minutes left. Grand Valley playing pretty aggressively. Nice.
Oh,
what a catch by Coda Gallagher.
Are you serious?
That brings in number 4, Blake Clevenger, another overtime player.
It's good to have his arm back on the court if you're GVSU, and I think that
must have hit the table of the scoreboard there. That was, sorry about that boom at home there.
Let's get two.
team throw coming up.
Yep. Kramer just misses the catch.
Yep, but Lico makes a catch. And it
Okay.
brings in Evan Barra. So they did 2 separate throws there. Lico made another catch this point.
Ooh. I thought that was a hit on Lico, but they're saying ground. Refs are saying ground.
Ground. Okay. He's safe.
He's got to just keep playing then.
Yeah. Oh, and Stanko catches him though. Tough throw. It was just, he's trying to go low, but he just left it up too much, and Stanko dropped to his knees and caught it.
And they take out Evan Barra there.
All right, and now you're looking at 2 minutes to go and 2 players left. I'm surprised Grand Valley was able to execute so well in the last couple minutes.
And
Ben Traub.
and now it's Jack Hilt is the last hope for MSU to close this thing out.
And wow.
I think Alex Danauskas' cross throw was the one that got him there high near the face. So we're going to roll that over. We're going to roll that over into the second half. We'll have just under 27 minutes total for the second half.
Yeah.
What a game.
So halftime here. Tony, give me your thoughts right now. I mean, Michigan State with a little resiliency in that first point to be able to win it, and maybe a little bit of luck on their side too. But the fact that we're tied 1-1 at half, they should be thankful that they aren't down 2-0, but at the same time, upset at themselves for giving up that second point in such a small period of time.
There was an extreme contrast, in my opinion, between what we saw in those 2 points. Not between the way that the teams played per se, but you had one point that took almost 18 minutes. Michigan State comes away with it. It was a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Came down to a 1v1. Then you have another point that takes 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes, and it's complete domination by Grand Valley. It's fast-paced. There's catches on both sides. Just the way the gamesmanship and the way the points were played, it was just so different, point 1 to point 2. And that kind of speaks to the Grand Valley's ability to adapt and change their strategy on the fly. So, again, we're at halftime here, game 2 on our main court. We're looking at Grand Valley against Michigan State, knotted at 1. We got another thriller here. You're not going to want to miss the second half of this one.
Switch it. I'll put it down.
Having some camera difficulties down there.
Switch the active camera so I can put it down.
Anyway, so let's go through the other games that we got today. So one game that I definitely want to see is Central Michigan against Michigan State. That one's scheduled for 3:45. Last time they played, CMU dominated, won 4-1. And we were surprised because Michigan State just came off a last-second loss to Grand Valley, basically. They went into overtime. They should have won at the last second, though. And then after that, they get blown out by Central.
Yeah, and I wonder what Michigan State's psyche will be. I think we'll know in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, it really comes down to how they do in this game because last time they were – yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what Michigan State's psyche is like. I think the loss to Grand Valley, the way they lost a couple weeks ago, really took it out of them, and that's why Central saw blood in the water and just pounced.
And good teams will be able to take advantage when that opportunity presents itself. And Central Michigan, I think that they're the most underrated team in the country right now. When you look at how their fall semester went, they were down 4-1 against Cincinnati, and they came back and did win, or maybe it was 3-1, 3-0, something like that. Anyway, I think they were down 3 points to Cincinnati, and they came back and won the game. So, I mean, yes, it was good that they came back and survived and won that game for their placement in the standings, but at the same time, you're looking at a team that is so much better now than they were back then, and maybe some of the schools in Ohio don't expect that, but let me tell you, this Central Michigan team, when they have their full roster, is dangerous, and we will see that later today. Right after this game, they play Saginaw Valley, and that'll be a test early on to see if they can do well in their first game, but with Michigan State and Grand Valley also on their schedule, they have some tests ahead of them. I
am excited to see the Saginaw Central game. I think that game is going to be really good. A few observations from Saginaw Valley earlier. Saginaw lost 3-2. For those of you who were betting at the O'Brien Sportsbook, they got a backdoor cover there. MSU was favored by 1.5. Dylan McDonald, number 24, Saginaw Valley. If you haven't heard of him before today, you should know who he is now. Played like an MVP. Strong arm, great catches, hung in there late in the game and really helped get that second point for Saginaw, which I would suspect is giving them some momentum going into the Western Michigan game. Speaking of that MSU Saginaw game, Barry Butler, Brett Weekland, I don't know if there's two other players I'd want to be my last two in on a team, more than those two after what they showed.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
Saginaw was up 8 players to 2, and those two whittled it back down to like 2v2, then 2v1. Eventually, like I said, Saginaw got the backdoor cover on the spread.
And one thing, but I would say that Butler could have won that point if he was trying to, but his motive was just to kill time.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to kill as much as he did with as many accurate throws, that's not a freshman. That's not a typical freshman in this league. And every throw was accurate. I mean, he hung in there to be young again, though, right? Be able to run around for 7-8 minutes like that. Alrighty, the teams are huddling up right now, getting ready to be lined up. Brandon barking out some orders to Grand Valley here, their coach. Meanwhile, the coaches and team from Michigan State huddled up on the left ear monitor. We're going to get ready to get to what should be an amazing second half here. I am very, very much looking forward to watching this game. So, again, for those of you just joining us here, 2020 Michigan Dodgeball Cup. Had a pre-MDC tournament a couple weeks ago. Michigan State, Grand Valley had a top 3 candidate for Game of the Year, and it looks like we're in for a repeat of that. Tied at 1 right now. Stark contrast in points the way that they were played, but these are two of the best teams in the league. And with that, we are underway in the second half. Head ref Eric Nelson gets them started, and it looks like Michigan State has come away with 6 of the balls, so they'll begin with an early ball advantage here. They're going to talk it up.
Crucial first point of the second half here.
What's lost in this is the fact that Michigan State took that first point, was tied with number 1 in the nation, 1-1, without perhaps their best player, an All-American candidate in Jacob Georges.
Wow.
He's out in California actually at an Olympic lifting meet, so best of luck to him there. We wish we were getting to see him here. He's really fun to watch, really talented.
Yeah, and he was a star last time we saw these two teams play.
Colin Freeman with a nice no-look across his body there.
And I'm going to go a step further and say they could be without their 2 best players, because you also have to remember head captain Peyton Schuster with his torn labrum, had shoulder surgery during the winter break here, so he's going to be out the rest of the season most likely.
Nice catch by Dennis Sullivan on Josh Hill. I'd say, on-court presence, I think Dennis Sullivan has really taken over as kind of the leader on the court, plays that middle position, runs the huddle, volume thrower.
And you're talking about a guy that's in his 3rd season being probably the most experienced player on the court for MSU.
Yep.
You could have made that argument for someone like Schuster or Weekland, but this guy's been at every single tournament, it feels like, and those guys are 3rd-year players, and they're crucial to this team. But it's crazy to think how young this team is with him being the elder statesman.
They lose literally nobody, and they gain, perhaps, if you want to call it this, they get the best recruit in the country next year with Peyton coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they do not lose any key contributors, and they get their captain back healthy next year.
And we're getting ahead of ourselves because this is a title contender this year, as you can see by the way that. That
Ooh.
could be caught. Nope.
Nope, Jack Gerling gets hit again.
In Grand Valley, they're loose cannons right now. It looks like it's not super controlled, but they are getting out. So I guess that's what matters.
A little bit more of a reckless abandon style than you're used to seeing Grand Valley play with. But I think they realize that's kind of how you got to beat Michigan State. Don't be predictable. Don't let State get comfortable. And that's what they've been doing, and it's been very effective.
Sullivan comes up, makes a throw.
Ooh, Blake Clevenger just gets his hands out of the way. He was looking for that catch. And Kramer gets taken out, and Lico gets taken out on a follow by Freeman there. Britt Skinner with a nice low throw just misses Brian Haynes. And just like that, a couple of quick throws get some kills for Grand Valley, and they've been off to a good start now in this point.
MSU still definitely has some contributors in the game right now. They have all the ability to still win this point.
Good throw by Max Antilla. Yep. Stanko using the wall effectively.
And that one took out the microphone.
Ben Smart, you could hear on the court yelling at his team all the way back. I'll tell you what you're seeing right now. A couple minutes ago, you saw Sullivan take 2 balls from the middle, make the throw. You saw Max Antilla do it, now Weekland. They're trying to keep everybody fresh by rotating who's going to fill that role. Team catch.
Oh, nice team catch. Oh, and then Sullivan gets hit.
Sullivan gets taken out anyway after the fact, but that will bring in Evan Barra. I believe he's a second-year player.
Yeah. Yep, he's one of their guys that they do count on to make a lot of throws. As you see, he gets a ball right away when he comes in the game. Ooh, and a drop there. Nice low placement by Butler, but still you got to be careful when Grand Valley's looking for catches on the back line.
Don't look now, but Michigan State did get a couple kills there. They've got some key contributors out for
Yeah,
Grand Valley.
this is an even point almost.
Yeah, we've got about 7 on 9 right now. Colin Freeman with a nice low throw on Evan Barra. Ben Traub.
Oh,
nice throw by
Clevenger.
Blake Clevenger. Gets him caught up in no man's land. I think Ben Traub made a little bit of a mistake. Came up a little too far when you're behind in the player count and the ball count.
And that's one thing. Nice throw.
Wow.
Was that Butler?
That's Barry Butler again.
Good placement. And one thing, going back to Ben Traub getting out, that's one thing that I would always stress when I was on the team. You got to make sure that you don't leave yourself out to dry. Don't give the other team free outs, and that's what he did. He gave the other team basically a free out. Clevenger came up, and he didn't have to place his throw anywhere. He just threw it hard.
And another team catch by Barry Butler was there for that one. That brings Jack Gerling in again, another talented freshman. So Michigan State back up to 7 players, not quite at risk of going on the 10 clock.
Yep.
We've got 7 on 8 right now. Ooh. Good throw by Ben Smart. Better block by Barry Butler.
In Grand Valley here, they've still got a lot of key players in as well. But we could say that basically at any point in time because both of these teams, I would argue these are the 2 deepest teams in the country outside of Ohio and possibly Miami. Those are 2 more teams that I know from what I've heard and from what I've seen are very deep, both in the Ohio region. But Grand Valley and Michigan State, oh, that's a headshot. Grand Valley and Michigan State, very deep teams up and down the roster.
I can't speak to the Ohio teams just because I haven't really got to see them play. Ohio took their first loss today to Miami, so you got to believe those 2 are deep. But, yeah, these 2 squads go 1 to 12.
Yeah, go 1 to 18, truly, honestly.
Yeah.
And while we were talking, Michigan State got knocked down to the 10 count. For those that aren't aware of college dodgeball's rule set, 2 25-minute halves. Each time you eliminate the other team, you get a point. Right now it's tied 1-1 in the second half. What we're looking at right now with usually it's a 15-second shot clock. When your team is down to 5 players or less on the court, you're at a 10-second shot clock, and that's what Michigan State has right now.
All right, so in that exchange there, Daquan McLean went down, as did Colin Freeman. Michigan State down to 4 players to Grand Valley's 7 right now. So Grand Valley firmly in control of the ball count as well.
And what you just saw right there is Grand Valley pushed back very quickly, and then you saw Peach and Smart both at the same time drop to their knees looking for a catch. So that's something that They're confident. Oh, nice cross by Ben Smart.
Yeah, he's such a smart player, too. Like, Ryan
Nice
Haynes
one.
did a nice job. No pun intended.
Yeah. No, the high IQ play to make that throw.
When you got all the balls, why not? You can. He's going to do it again. Just misses the mark, though.
All right, so we have Butler, we have Gerling, and Antilla left for Michigan State. 3 capable catchers.
Yep. So we've got a junior and 2 freshmen, but these 2 freshmen, they're 2 freshman All-Americans, if you ask me right now. I mean, overtime 6 players for a team this talented.
They would both have my vote.
Michigan State, unfortunately, only has 1 ball on their side, and it is in no man's land.
Oh, wow.
Until he gets hit in the chest there.
And he had 4 balls going at him. There's nothing he could do there.
Nice throw by Jack Gerling.
And Peach has to continue backing up there. It's good to anticipate, but at the same time, if you guys all push back quicker, it's a balls over call.
Team throw, Barry Butler gets taken out. I couldn't tell if he got hit there, if he stepped out.
It looks like he barely got clipped by a ball.
Nice long throw to reset by Jack Gerling, and he'll take ball into the, not going into the corner. Nice block.
And Peach takes him down.
The freshman takes out the other freshman.
Great cross.
We've got a couple all-freshman candidates going at it on this game here. And all right, so Grand Valley takes that point in about 9 minutes there, just over 9 minutes. We got 18:38 left here in the second half. Grand Valley takes a 2-1 lead.
18:38 to go. So, Tony, let's talk about right now. You've got Michigan State took the first point, and it was a marathon of a point. That was, in this day and age, you don't see points taking 15 minutes anymore.
Nope.
And that one took over 15 minutes. And then after that, though, it's been all Grand Valley. Yes, these last 2 points have been close to start, but Grand Valley historically is such a good team. It is such a good team at closing out points, and they did that twice in a row here pretty quickly. We have 18:38 to go. That's still enough time for 3 more points to be scored. MSU could win this game in regulation.
Yeah, I think Michigan State's actually got to slow it down. They've got to make Grand Valley normally is the one who dictates the pace, whether it's slow or fast, and they'll play a slower game, and they've forced Michigan State actually to be the ones to have to speed up to keep up. So Michigan State's got to stay composed, slow it down. They know they're capable. They know they're talented. We see them play with a lot of swagger. Put up or shut up this point,
Hey, we're going to get pizza, by the way, after this game. Yeah, so as we're getting ready to start this point, you were saying Michigan State needs to slow down. I think that it's not really the speed for Michigan State, but just the level of communication. And there's times when they are very good at communication, and then there are times when they look lost out there. And right now with Schuster, the head captain, injured, he's on the sideline. I think that that's going to help them a lot because he's their eyes and ears from the sideline. He's not caught up in the action. He knows exactly what they're doing wrong and what they need to fix. And I think that that's one thing that you're going to see throughout the rest of this season, as Michigan State is going to be a team that is good at adjusting throughout the game. And it's going to be because they have more experience on their team, not to mention their captain is on the bench, being able to watch everything.
I tell you what, this Grand Valley team seems to be pretty well conditioned. They just are content to run up and down and up and down and up and down. And they're turning it into a little bit of a track meet. And I'm not saying Michigan State can't keep up. They just, it's taken Michigan State out of their comfort zone, I think.
Yeah, and Skinner, nice hit by him, and Ben Smart with a miss. Yeah, I would say from the very first tournament of the year, that was one thing I was impressed with Grand Valley, is they were prepared to run up and down the court with anyone all day long, whatever it takes to win the game.
Ben Smart leading the charge here. Well, what that allows them to do, you see even here, they run up, but they didn't make a throw immediately. But now they've still got almost a full shot clock to go ahead and decide, all right, whose turn? What are we doing? Team throw, solo, whatever.
So much of it is about rhythm, and yeah, Grand Valley does a great job of that. Michigan State, sometimes they take a little bit too long and they're out of rhythm. Yeah. I think that that's been one of the differences so far.
Yeah, they go to that huddle strategy kind of.
Nice catch.
Skinner was just trying to reset the clock there and hung one to Dennis Sullivan making a catch from the middle, and that'll get Michigan State back to full strength. Couple substitution notes here.
Oh, wow.
Luke Holicky, number 22, checking in for the first time today for Grand Valley. Haven't seen him on the court. I think Gonzalez was on the court to start as well. That's his first action of the day so far. So just a couple quick player subs.
And again, for all of our viewers, we have a full day of action ahead of us. This is the second round of matches. This is a college dodgeball regular season tournament. It's round robin style, so every team will play every other team at this event. There are 5 schools here. The team with the best record at the end wins the Michigan Dodgeball Cup. So right now, with Michigan State undefeated, Grand Valley Michigan State undefeated today.
Yep.
Grand Valley the likely favorite, though, ranked number 1 in the country. This game has a lot of implications on who's going to win the MDC.
To me, the winner of this game wins MDC. Saginaw put up a valiant effort against Michigan State, and I think Saginaw has a chance to beat CMU, but probably not Grand Valley.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Saginaw play probably one of the best games they've played all year, and 3-2 loss to Michigan State. So,
and I'm not exactly going out on a limb by picking the 2 highest-ranked teams. The winner of them wins the MDC, but the eye test,
Technically.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Nope. I stand corrected. Central is ranked higher. Nice catch by Jake Lico.
Lico takes down Stanko with another hands catch. But yeah, as we were talking about, Grand Valley is number 1. They're 15-0 right now, but Central Michigan, number 5 in the country. They're the second highest ranked team at this tournament. Michigan State dropped to 7 after their last event, so they're third best team here technically. But we know that they have that top level of play. Oh my goodness!
Another catch. So Evan Barr made a catch. Brian Haynes just made a catch. That took out Nick Hale and Blake Clevenger, 2 of Grand Valley's top players.
And don't look now, but Michigan State's in good position to win this point. Do they have anyone in the outline? I think they have a full 12.
That's right. Lico had gotten out right after Barra made the catch, so he still had to stay out. But then Haynes made a catch right after that. So, not a good throw.
And you're seeing both teams want to play it from their baseline.
Okay, so neither one of those throws apparently were good there. The one by Janauskas or Williamson. And when I say not good, I'm not insulting the throwing ability. I want the viewers to understand. I mean, it's not in that legal zone we talked about.
Yeah. And it's a strategy sometimes to just do a reset throw and get back. It's part of the game here. And we have Coda Gallagher, the only guy up for Grand Valley on that side. It's going to be their throw, though.
Yep. Looks like the ball count is even, but Michigan State with a decided player advantage right now. Evan Barra gets taken out by Williamson.
Williamson, number 96, he's a rookie that from the very first freshman practice, freshman tryout, whatever you want to call it, the Grand Valley captains pointed him out as a guy that they needed. He was a guy that came in, adjusted, was able to throw the ball well right away.
So between him and Peach, ho-hum, Grand Valley, another great recruiting class potentially here.
Yeah, not as deep as usual, but there's a couple guys at the top that are definitely already contributors.
He's still probably
he makes a catch, too.
Makes a catch right on cue.
And Jack Hilt's got to get up closer on that.
Yeah.
He sometimes has a little bit of a tendency to throw from too far back, and that works in elite style play, but here you got to get closer. You can't make that long of a throw.
Yep. Looks like Williamson lost some fingers there.
Yeah.
A lot of these players will tape the ends of their fingers. It can be rough on your fingers pinching the 8.5 rubber ball like that, so a little protection there. Grand Valley has 9 players, and it looks like Michigan State has 10, so Grand Valley's kind of pulled this thing back close to even here.
And it looks like GVSU.
Oh, boy, Colin Freeman took a Peach blocked one into Colin Freeman's face, so not a legit headshot, but he's going to have to shake that one off.
And right now, Grand Valley's only got 2 balls on their side, so they can't really play as aggressive offensively.
And Haynes just goes up, makes a solo throw after Janauskas kind of made like what you would call a pre-counter. He didn't want to let them set up a team throw, so he threw early.
Yeah, and now we have under 12 minutes to play. it's looking a lot like if Michigan State doesn't get this point, they're not going to be able to win the game. So they're putting all their chips in the middle right now.
Colin Freeman gets taken out. Nice low throw there. And, boy, Michigan State in complete control right now.
Team throw coming up, it looks like. Takes out Williamson.
Yep. On the top of your screen, Haynes and Weekland executed team throw that just missed Janauskas. Grand Valley manages to get 4 balls out of that exchange.
Yeah, so it's a high risk, high reward when you make that many throws. Obviously, they would have loved to take out 2 guys, but
few too many throws by Grand Valley there. They got rid of 3 again. They did get 2 back, but that's still a net loss of 1 ball. And when you're behind players, ball advantage is almost as big as player advantage at that point. It helps keep it feeling a little more even.
Lico makes a reset throw.
Yep.
Hill with a miss. And good job by Coda Gallagher there to step up. Josh Hill left himself a little bit open and a little bit exposed, but his teammate stepped up to get up to the throw line, and it scared MSU back.
Gallagher just misses low and wide of Brian Haynes there in the middle of your screen.
So Grand Valley not on the 10 count yet. They got 7 guys left.
Yep, Michigan State looks like they got 10 guys left. So,
and they went for Skinner there.
Yep, team throw just misses. Skinner's probably the strongest thrower left. Maybe not as accurate as Ben Smart, but the way he was bringing it in that first half, why not try to take him out?
Gallagher, nice catch, but was his throw good? Ball's over is called.
Okay, so
wow.
What a sequence. So we're just down under 10 minutes left to go here, about 9:56.
9:56.
It's not a timeout. Eric Nelson has to keep reminding these teams over. It's not a timeout.
It's not a timeout.
Yep. Gotta love that microphone down.
Side ready, dodgeball.
Yep, not letting him get set. I like it. He's been calling that for both teams.
And we have an update here. Akron defeats Bowling. Oh, what a catch!
Catching it out by Britt Skinner. That brings in Nick Hale, so that's a trade, and Grand Valley gets a ball out of that.
And as I was trying to say right before that, Akron defeats Bowling Green in the Ohio tournament 3-2.
Okay.
So huge win for Akron. And Nick Hale makes a catch and stays alive.
Ooh.
Gallagher couldn't grab that ball, though. That hurts Grand Valley.
Yep.
And you see their coach, Brandon Meisel, saying, stay back. It's not worth you getting out to try and get that 1 ball.
Throw just misses Holicky. Ben Smart immediately counters back. So Holicky now with the only ball for Grand Valley, playing from the middle here. And it looks like Michigan State's going to have to set up a team throw.
Yeah.
Under 5 to throw. And they throw low, miss the captain. Holicky with a low throw to reset the clock. That's a +1 for Grand Valley in terms of ball count there.
When you have 2 guys team throw like that, Tony, they both threw low, and all Josh Hill had to do was jump. You almost need to communicate ahead of time and make sure that people are thrown at different levels.
And Hale gets taken out there.
Yeah, a good throw there to take out Hill.
It's easy for me to, backseat drive here, Monday morning quarterback, but Josh Hill jumps almost every time he dodges, and Michigan State has not adjusted, and that.
Stanko goes down, reaching.
Oh, Ben Smart just misses McLean there on a cross throw.
Grand Valley still has survivors on the court, and you got 8 minutes to go now, 8:15. I would not be surprised if Grand Valley stays alive for the rest of this point if things go their way.
The clock is actually their worst enemy right now, but at some point, we cross that 5-minute mark. If Michigan State doesn't get them on the 10 clock, now the clock is State's enemy.
Yeah. And Peach needs to be able to get that ball. That's a bounce-back throw.
Ben Traub gets taken out, and suddenly you've got 6 on 7. Grand Valley has a player advantage. So missed throw by Max Antilla. Good reset by Josh Hill. He's been very accurate with that low throw all day today.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped in it, and Janauskas goes down.
But McLean then gets taken out there, and that's going to put Michigan State after the next throw on the 10 clock.
I'll tell you what, Josh Hill, he maybe wasn't one of their top players in the fall, and obviously with his shoulder recovering. He's getting better as we go, but he has stepped up and had a very, very good game today.
And Ben Smart just takes out Peyton Schuster, standing in the sideline.
He's
that sidearm throw went wide and
took him out, sending a message.
As accurate as Ben Smart is, you got to wonder if he did that on purpose.
I mean, a lefty throw, sidearm throw. Maybe Schuster's got to back off the sideline a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the best throw.
Schuster needs a sideline coach, kind of like
Venables for Clemson.
The coach for the Rams. McVay. He's got someone who's got to pull him back off the sideline.
He needs someone behind him to just grab him and pull him back.
Yep.
And Josh Hill with the throw. Michigan State, look at their side right now. You have 5 guys left. It's no longer their point that they're in control of.
Nope, Grand Valley just sat back and just stayed patient.
And they're too disciplined on the back line. And you see their coach right now, Brandon Meisel, telling them to back up again. They're too disciplined from the back line, and they have 6 guys left, and Michigan State's on the 10 count now. Oh, and Josh Hill leaves himself. Weakling gets hit by
in the shoulder. I don't know how Gallagher blocked that quick, that short throw from Weakling, but he did.
That was crazy. He got lucky.
So we've got 4 on 5. They're both on the 10 clock now, and this is where you'll see the pace quicken a little bit.
Girling leaves himself open.
That's by Brian Haynes.
Haynes with a catch. I believe Haynes is a rookie. I'm not totally sure on that.
Third year player.
Okay. That should not count. That's a ball's over.
Oh, Holicky is not happy about it, but that is a ball's over.
5:22 to go, it looks like. I'm sorry, 5:18 to go.
Well, we could be heading for another overtime thriller here, I'll tell you what. We were saying advantage Grand Valley, but then the captain got taken out on a trade there. Josh Hill. It was a timeout this time. A little confusion.
So this has been an interesting game.
So now
it feels like it hasn't been 2 full halves, but it's because some of these points have gone on for so long.
Yeah, and there haven't been that many stoppages, which is nice. There's been some balls over with where we talked about those tight windows here, but
anyway, here we go.
Okay, so Michigan State's not going to target Ben Smart.
You got 2 guys on that right side. Are they going to spread out? Wow.
Ooh, and they miss a team throw. Holicky, nice snag to grab that one.
And Holicky's a good catcher. You got to keep an eye on him in this situation.
First in the queue is Colin Freeman, it looks like.
So another catcher would be the first one to come in.
A lot of experience there.
Survivability.
Okay,
Gallagher's in. It hit the ground.
That ball bounced in front of Cody Gallagher. Michigan State is trying to say it. You can hear Michigan State is not happy.
I mean, it hit the ground before it hit him. They just need to focus and get it. There it is.
There it is. So Evan Barr gets it. So if you're Michigan State, you're probably saying ball don't lie. But
yeah. Oh! Ben Smart, last one left. Last one left.
He doesn't get, he just rolled the ball and said, give him the ball's over.
Yeah, it's a ball's over.
So Ben Smart,
wow.
one of the most elusive players in the entire league right now.
4:22 to go.
I'm loving to get the on-the-court sounds here today. We're getting a lot of hits on camera. We're getting on the microphone. We're getting Peyton and Mike Riley yelling from the booth here, giving them orders.
And I'm assuming we got a lot of viewers right now. Michigan State, Grand Valley. We're going to give a quick shout-out to Shadid Drakeford for setting this up. We got a really, really good stream here today. Awesome setup.
Yep, here we go. Michigan State, Ben Smart.
Last man left.
He's squaring up.
And they got him. Great team throw.
So now we're down to just over 4 minutes left.
4:06, and you're going to play out that 4:06, I believe.
I think they're going to add a few seconds. No, maybe not. Okay, so we're going to go 4:06.
Hey, should be like 4:12 or something.
We have 4:06. Do you
Not
want us?
that it really matters that much.
Do you want us to put 6 seconds on it?
Yeah, I mean,
4 seconds.
4 seconds.
All right, so there's going to be 4:10 officially left in this half here, and they're going to play it out. I think we're heading for another overtime thriller. One thing to note, if we might be getting a little ahead of ourselves, but if we get to overtime, who replaces Jacob Georges on the OT roster for Michigan State?
I mean,
I
Weakland
got to
was.
go with Weakland, right?
I don't understand why he wasn't on overtime last time. He's built for overtime. Brent Weakland's a guy that his best skills are survivability, being able to reset throws in the neutral zone, and getting up and down the court quickly. And I mean, when it comes to accuracy, what?
He doesn't
He doesn't seem to get tired. And also, I know he made one bad throw earlier today, but accuracy, he's one of the most accurate throwers on the team. So I think that he's definitely going on the overtime roster if it comes to that. But you just never know.
I would agree.
And I got to update the score here, 2-2.
That or maybe Jake Lico, but let's see what happens. These four, I think you might see a little bit of a higher pace here for the first minute.
Yeah.
If neither team takes control, they're both going to be content to run it out, and we're going to get some bonus dodgeball here.
Yep. I would say if I had to pick the overtime 6 for Michigan State, I would put Weakland in. I would put Lico in, Butler, Sullivan as well.
I might go Evan Barra.
Yeah.
I think Jack burst on the scene as a freshman last year.
Jack Hill.
He's
a good catcher.
But he's lacking the mobility, and when you're going 6-on-6 the whole time,
Yeah.
you need to be able to get up and down, and I just don't think he has it quite yet.
I think you got to think about Haynes possibly with the day that he's had so far. He had a very good game.
Great catching so far. They've leaned on him to make more throws, and I've seen them do this season at prior tournaments. So.
And now you got 3.5 to go, so it looks like both teams are content with going to overtime.
Butler almost got crossed. The throw just sailed behind him a little bit there. So, yeah, we're down under 3:30 here. We're about to get some free dodgeball, and this is what you expect with these two teams. Jack Gerling there, freshman from Michigan State, just kind of almost baiting a throw from Captain Josh Hill there. Ben Smart trying his best to stop them from huddling there, and I think State's content to go to overtime, even with an 8-2 ball advantage that they just had. They're just going up and throwing solo throws. I think Michigan State is supremely confident in their top 6, and they're going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and roll with that.
They're going to roll with it.
They're going to say, "We're going to put our best 6 against your 6. Come beat us." Oh, Sullivan and Hill, the gamesmanship. You can see Sullivan could have taken a throw there. Decided he just kind of smiles, waits, and then he takes out Hill anyway. Sort of a whiffed block by the captain for Grand Valley. You don't see that often out of him. Holicky looking for a catch off the ground. Probably not a necessary play at that point, but
if you had to pick right now, who do you have in this overtime? Assuming we're going to overtime now with 2 minutes to go.
Well, I think athletically, I think State is better, and Colin Freeman with a drop catch. But Grand Valley didn't have much of a problem with them in the overtime 2 weeks ago, and so I got to go with Grand Valley. Their overtime 6 seemed to play so well together that it didn't matter.
And we just got dead time right now, pretty much.
They're both teams just kind of, let's just get it to overtime. It's a foregone conclusion that we're going there. Sullivan catches Williamson, the rookie, sleeping, and now Janowskis. Well, wait a minute here.
Now you got to take a second.
Wait a minute, because
now you got to call a timeout.
Grand Valley only has 6 players left here.
Think about it.
If I'm Michigan State, I've got 75 seconds.
You can win this point. Skinner gets a ball.
Barry taking a shot at the top corner. Blake Clevenger.
You got 1:05 now.
Evan Barra, nice block by Peach, the freshman. And Grand Valley, they understand they got caught sleeping, down to 6 players. They're just going to – it's going to take theoretically 4 throws to bleed this out, and that's what they're going to do. Well, 10 clock, Coda Gallagher gets caught sleeping.
Could it be again? Michigan State making a late push here.
Oh, boy.
This is just
can-
like last game.
Peyton is just urging his team, get up there, get up there.
Get up to the line. Yeah, it looks like they're playing from the front line. Oh,
Okay.
my.
Hale with a nice catch. Britt Skinner just gets taken out. Then Haynes gets taken out.
And Grand Valley's still playing
It
reckless
is just
for no
an
reason.
absolute shooting gallery with 20 seconds left here.
I mean, good footage, though, you know.
Yep. This is good for the stream, good for the viewers. We're happy to have you all here. For those of you just joining us, we are about to get some free dodgeball here.
Overtime again.
10 seconds away from overtime between these two great teams. Ooh,
Yeah.
could have been a balls over.
Josh-
Oh my
I know,
gosh.
but there's 6 seconds.
They called it. Okay, 6 seconds left. So if you're Grand Valley, you call a timeout after 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but is this just like last game? We have just drama right at the end of the point.
it's going to be a weird finish.
You gotta
I got to
get-
tell you, it's going to be a weird finish here.
Are we going to overtime? No.
Not yet. We're 6 seconds away.
So
but
we're
I
going to
think-
try and get a clarification here on what exactly the call is.
Alrighty, so, okay, they put 10 seconds on the clock. Is that accurate? Can we get a confirmation?
10 seconds.
I heard them saying 6 down there.
And it looks like Hill just went over to the coach, Brandon Meisel, and said,
Is that time accurate?
most likely, call a timeout. 10 seconds. And he probably said to him, hey, listen, we need to call a timeout. They have 2 timeouts to use.
Yeah, so you call one at 6, you call one at 2.
And you're just going to drain it. And that's one benefit of saving those timeouts is now they're just going to drain that clock.
I'm telling you, the last couple minutes of these two teams when they play, it's starting to look like the last couple minutes of a basketball game. You know,
Yeah.
you foul, clock stop, timeout, foul. There are no fouls here, but hey, ball's over, stoppage. We're going to call a timeout. We're going to call another one. I think we kind of know what's going to happen.
Yep.
But anyway, that's a smart play. I mean, that laugh was NCDA legend Dylan Fettig. And 10 seconds.
And we're underway here. 10 seconds to go.
Oh, Grand Valley, Michigan State's not even going to go. Doesn't matter.
And I don't even think that the
think
ref granted him timeout.
No, I think Michigan State knew what he was going to do and knew what was going to happen with the clock and said,
Yeah.
forget it.
So Michigan State basically tried to outsmart Grand Valley, but the issue was Grand Valley had 2 timeouts. So you weren't outsmarting anyone by waiting. They were trying to wait till the very last second and then make those throws, but they would have had to get 4 guys out in one team.
Maybe lull Brandon to sleep a little bit. Well,
Yeah.
in theory you can. With that many people, 2 throw at one, 2 at the other, 2 at the other. Unfortunately, it didn't work for Michigan State, but fortunately for the viewers, free dodgeball now. We're heading to overtime.
Michigan State, second game in a row against Grand Valley where they've been able to force overtime. This team was so inexperienced the last few years, and now you're looking at a team that Grand Valley, they're 15-0 on the season right now, and Michigan State is able to hang with them neck and neck. So win or lose here, again, you need to give props to Michigan State for being able to take it this far with the top team in the country. They've been able to play them so many times this year. I think this is the 5th matchup between Michigan State and Grand Valley. And you're looking at a team that has been able to improve each and every time that they've played GVSU and close the gap. And when you have the amount of talent that they have, that's something that is expected, and Michigan State's been able to do it. So we're about to get some overtime underway here, and let's take a look at each team's OT roster. And as Tony, you and I had predicted, we got Brent Weekland. We got Brent Weekland in on the overtime roster.
Give the people what they want. And wow, okay, this is a little unexpected.
And you also have Britt Skinner on the overtime roster.
We got Max Antilla up there on overtime. Lico's come in, and Kramer. I think they brought Kramer in for his catching.
I'm surprised by Grand Valley not having Blake Clevenger in on overtime.
No, they got Colin Freeman probably for his catching. So they've kind of countered each other with some catchers here. Kramer.
Yeah.
I think he was on their overtime roster in the fall, kind of lost that spot, just got it back. And I think they recognize maybe Jack's not at 100%. He's not on there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that these teams played 2 weeks ago, and both teams have very different overtime rosters than last time.
Weekland doing his job. I didn't know he was that fast either. I'll tell you that. He beat Stanko there by 10 feet easy. Antilla with a long throw.
Yeah, and a quick
Janowski's
reset
right
from both
back.
teams.
Yeah, what you're going to see here probably a couple minutes of feeling each other out.
Yeah.
And then we'll start to maybe see some fireworks.
Ooh. Smart throw by Sullivan, and it's such a big court here, down to 6-on-6. That's going to happen until we get into the groove of this OT. Josh Hill, good throw. Oh, Stanko makes a catch with the ball in his hand.
He doesn't ever drop the ball. He's like,
I don't understand it, but it works.
Max Antilla counters right back at Janowski.
And Antilla, I'm not sure if he was on OT roster last time, but he deserves to be on the OT 6, I think.
So Jack Hill and Jack Gerling were on it last time, and they've been subbed out for Max Antilla, Jake Lico. Well, actually, no, they almost made a wholesale change here.
Yeah.
Michigan State did. They got 4 different players this time.
Yeah, keep in mind Jacob George is not here. Oh, and Ben Smart looks for a catch.
Barry Butler jumping to block that one.
Yeah, it looked like a jump to dodge that turned into a blocking situation. And he's got to get back now, and he does. Good job by him.
Nice dodge by Josh Hill.
Going to be GVSU's throw here. Good throw by Hill. And Lico and Hill have been 2 guys that have had great games.
Janowskis takes out Antilla there.
Wow, they both went down. It was a kill on each side.
All right. So 5-4.
Uh-oh. And you got 5-on-4 now.
Grand Valley with a decided ball advantage, though. Weakland stays in, keeps that heel down. Toe came up, heel was still in.
Butler's going to have to step up and make a throw here. Good placement. It's a good throw. Wow.
Wow.
I do not agree with that call at all. Technically, if it's within reach,
he can jump
it's within
and
reach.
get that. Yeah,
but
that was within reach in my.
At the same time, if you're Grand Valley, you shouldn't be making that throw. Make a better. There's better options than that.
Yep. Okay.
So, I do not agree with that call, but at the same time, Grand Valley, that's on them for not making a better throw. I forget who made that throw.
That was Stanko that time. Stanko's been trying the high reset throw.
Yeah.
Not necessarily trying to play wall ball, but I think he thinks he's got more confidence in making an accurate throw high than low. So we'll see who they target.
Team throw coming up. It has to be on either Stanko or Hill, it looks like.
And
they
Hill,
both do the jump dodge and get it. And you're going to get 2 balls on your side.
Yep.
Even counts. And Lico, I like what Lico did. He made a throw, so GVSU is going to have to be throwing by themselves there.
Yep.
And Weakland comes up, a reset.
Nice reset there. Kramer's feet by Ben Smart. So good at that.
Both teams are trying so hard to play from their back line.
Josh Hill puts it right in between Kramer and Butler.
MSU
Stanko with a better throw that time.
Uh-oh. Good dodge.
Weakland with another throw.
Oh, he could be toast.
Nope, instead Butler is.
And
I respect Butler trying to come up and protect Weakland there.
It's not on him. It's not on him. He's trying to save his teammate. It's going to be a ball's over.
And a ball's over right back to Grand Valley.
Wow.
And I tell you see this a lot more in overtime than you do when they're at full strength or even, a regular game. These balls overs.
It's
fewer
huge.
balls, fewer players, same space.
Yeah. And you saw the momentum shift in a matter of 2 plays there. Brent Weakland came up to make a throw, which he had to do. Their clock was getting high. He made a throw on Ben Smart, but Ben Smart, being arguably the best transition player in the country, runs him down. As he's going to take out Weakland, you see Barry Butler step up to try and block, and he takes down the rookie instead.
We'll see where the team throw goes, and it's at Kramer.
I think Kramer stays in. He does.
Oh, they're saying
yeah.
I thought maybe a ball clipped him somewhere. I was more concerned with that than him staying in.
Oh, popped ball.
MSU's not happy. I think they thought that Ben Smart got his hand in
it looked
there.
weird because the ball just popped right when it hit him. Or right when it hit the ball. That's safe. That's
okay,
safe.
they're saying ground. That just kind of looked weird. He was running back.
So Lico stepping up to throw. Got to get farther. Too long of a throw. That's not going to be good enough.
Not going to be good.
That's a catch.
Weigland just kind of tosses it to a running.
Yeah, I mean,
Ben Smart's here, take it.
The clock was done.
Yep. Okay, so that's our third balls over in overtime already, where we're in a whole 50-minute game. We only had 2.
Yeah.
You know, already 3 in overtime. It can be a dangerous game. You know, a few players, it's up and down, up and down.
So we got Josh Hill in, the captain for GVSU. You have Stanko, you have Skinner.
You're going to see
and
Freeman and Skinner.
Three-person team throw takes him out.
Kramer. Immediately, Lico throws.
Lico does a reset. Now it's just on Grand Valley. They're burdened
3
to
balls.
throw. Oh, what
Ben
a
Smart
cross
with
by
the
Ben
long
Smart.
cross there, and now we're down to Brett Weekland.
He's
now,
done that several times this game.
Last week it came down to this. We said they need a player like Weekland in, and here it is.
Yeah. He's so tough to eliminate. They have a shot. If they get one catch, Evan Barr is the first one in, I believe.
Yep.
Just slowly but surely, he's going to be able to put himself in a position to make a catch on a bad throw.
Ooh, that's not
They're not
close.
going to count that.
They're not going to count that. He's still got time.
Wow.
He let him have it.
I'm shocked that he did that. I mean, I guess. So there's 2 trains of thought here. One, you don't want to waste. You don't want to make a throw that you aren't comfortable with, and maybe it's a catch. But at the same time, if he makes that throw right there, Grand Valley doesn't get to reset from their back line here. Instead of that, they have to just go right into it, and they would have had 5 less seconds to make a throw.
I think he's got to sell out for a catch on one of these. Just track one.
I believe we have a timeout.
All right, so we'll let them run back and then run up again.
Yeah, so another stoppage. It feels like the end of these games have so many stoppages, but as you said.
As I turn it into basketball a little bit here, so.
Weekland, last man left for Michigan State, trying to pull off an upset against number 1 GVSU. Undefeated Grand Valley. They've gone to overtime the last 2 times against Michigan State, but their overtime roster has been able to save them. Weekland, if he can make a catch, Evan Barra is the first one in, and it looks like Jack Hilt is number 2.
No, Jack Hilt was not in overtime. Number 2 is Sullivan. Then Max and Barry. So, solo throw by Ben Smart. I think they're going to make Weekland run.
They weren't comfortable enough with rushing a team throw, it looks like. Oh!
Josh Hilt gets away with one there. Hits him right in the chest.
Yep.
Seals the 3-2 victory for Grand Valley.
Just enough time where he made the throw, and Weekland did not have enough time to turn his head and get his eyes set on that throw.
You know what, though? Look at Weekland. He's like first one out of the huddle, leading the handshake line.
Yeah. What a game. Again, another instant classic.
Yeah.
GVSU with the win, 3-2 in overtime against Michigan State.
So Michigan State takes a really long point coming out, out of the gate. Looks great.
Yeah.
Grand Valley gets 2 kind of quick ones. Gets one in like 5 minutes, gets another one under 10 minutes in the second half. And Michigan State slowly bleeds it, takes a long time, gets that 4th point. Really stark contrast between how each team got the points. And then Grand Valley here just they just kind of leaned on them the entire time here in overtime. Took advantage, got the balls over calls, just played really disciplined. And you got to tip your hat to number 1 right now.
Yep, and stick with us. We got Saginaw Valley State taking on Central Michigan next up on this court. Saginaw Valley, they look good today. They did lose to Michigan State, but it was a 3-2 game where they played well. But while we're here, let's recap this game. Who would you say are the players of the game in your opinion, Tony? Because one person I would like to point out for each team, I'm going to go Josh Hill for Grand Valley. He has been inconsistent during the fall. He's their captain. He's got a lot of things that he's got to juggle at the same time. And obviously, as I've said, with the shoulder injury that he's recovering from, it slowed him maybe a little bit over the fall semester, but he had a fantastic game. He was one of the guys that Grand Valley could always count on to make a good throw. And then on the other side, for Michigan State, there's a few guys to point out, but I would go with Haynes. Haynes was the last man left for them on the very first point. He made some huge plays in the next point that Michigan State won. So I would say those 2 guys maybe aren't always the headliner for the team, but they did a fantastic job in this one, as you see Michigan State huddle up down there.
Yeah, I'm going to echo your thoughts about Josh Hill as the captain. You've got a long list of some pretty decorated players that have come before you as GVSU captain, and he's got some big shoes to fill. He wasn't 100%. He looks to be back now. I'm going to point to somebody else on Grand Valley. Britt Skinner.
Yeah.
We didn't call his number a whole lot. We did a few times. He missed that big catch. But, I mean, he was eye-poppingly good with his throw a few times. On the other side, I think Max Antilla, the reason he was on overtime, and not a shot at him, I don't view him as an overtime player on Michigan State. Okay. And he played his way into that. He played so well that they couldn't not play him. And that says a lot about him, playing his way onto that overtime roster.
So, yeah, let's just jump back in and do a quick recap of that entire game, because it was, again, another classic between GVSU and Saginaw.
Yep, you got Michigan State started the game off with a very long point. As we pointed out, you don't really see points take that long in the NCDA. Took over 15 minutes to get the first point from Grand Valley. It was a back and forth affair that came down to a one-on-one. From there, Grand Valley got really aggressive in the second point of the first half to tie it up. Knew they really had to go in order to get it before half. So we rolled a little bit of time over in the second half. Grand Valley comes out, plays a similar style, takes another quick point.
Yeah, and there was about 18 and a half to go after that.
And Michigan State, it took them another 14 minutes to get a point from Grand Valley. So, again, Grand Valley, their 2 points took a combined 10, 11 minutes. Michigan State's points combined took about a half an hour. So, they both were content to go into overtime with 4 minutes left. They kind of knew what was going to happen. And then in overtime, it was just Grand Valley. It was all Grand Valley. They were surgical there at the end. And again, they showed why they're number one.
Yeah, and we got Central Michigan and Saginaw.
This is a litmus test for both these teams, if you ask me.
That's what I'm thinking as well. It's hard to gauge where these two teams are at.
Saginaw Valley looked much better in their loss to Michigan State. Yeah, backdoor cover. You could say they lost by a point, but really State was in control. There were some guys who really stood out to me. I said this earlier on the stream, but number 24, Dylan McDonald, played like an MVP. Great thrower, great catcher, was one of their survivors. I'm going to look for big things from him. And I know you had your eyes on another player on the Saginaw side that you thought was was really good and stepped up. A name that, these are going to be 2 names that we call for the rest of the year that we haven't called much this year.
Yeah, so we pointed this guy out last tournament, actually. His name's Tristan Baller. He's jersey number 1. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. And he looked good from the very first tournament that we've seen him in. But he's a guy that it looks like his responsibilities are continuing to jump up on this team, and he's turning into one of their main contributors. So he's a guy to definitely keep an eye on.
I think right now Saginaw Valley's biggest issue is the lack of depth, because you talk about some of the guys that we called. You talk about Tristan Baller having a great tournament. We mentioned Dylan McDonald. We haven't even talked about Jake Bruce, and he's an All-American, in my eyes. Just a phenomenal player. So, beyond those 3, there's some pieces to build around. I just don't think they're as deep as Saginaw Valley has been in years past, and that's kind of their Achilles heel.
Yep. In Central Michigan, as you kind of said with a litmus test here, you have CMU. They have 3 straight games on this court that we are going to be streaming. So stick around. We're going to have this live stream going all day long. We got a full schedule still ahead of us here with what time exactly is it right now? We're behind schedule by almost an hour.
Yikes.
But we do have a break that was put in there. So right now we got CMU against SVSU. After that, we're going to have Grand Valley State coming back in, undefeated record. They're going to be playing against Central Michigan, and that's a rivalry game that is always fun to watch. After that, we have Michigan State, Central Michigan, and that one is one that everyone's going to have their eyes on. CMU, last time they played Michigan State, they took them down 4-1. Michigan State before that hadn't lost to anyone except for Grand Valley and Bowling Green all year long. So, and then the very last game of the day, the Battle of the Valleys rivalry, Saginaw Valley State against Grand Valley State. In that one, it seems like it's always the final game of the day at MDC. In the past, those are the 2 teams that have been battling it out for the title, it seems. So, but yeah, while we got a little bit of a pause in the action here, we can do a little bit of a recap of the day so far and then talk a little bit about MDC history. So
Yep.
Starting with that first game, Tony. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, we talked a little bit about that Michigan State-Saginaw Valley game. O'Brien Sportsbook had Michigan State as a 1.5-point favorite, and they failed to cover. Saginaw Valley, it was 3-1 with under a minute to go. Saginaw Valley gets a backdoor cover, makes it 3-2. But I got to tell you, they hung in there. They really, really hung in there. A couple weeks ago, they lost, 4-1? They got rolled a little bit by Michigan State, and it was never as out of reach as maybe the score indicated at one point. So you tip your hat to Saginaw. We said one of their biggest things is how they improved throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed, I was down there on the court for a little bit trying to film some stuff, and Grand Valley's captains were saying, wow, this Saginaw team is playing so well together. Their communication is so much more improved than it was in the past. And Colin Freeman, he said, this team must have been watching film. I think it was him, maybe it was Alex Janauskas. He said, this team must have been watching film because they are so much different than they were the last time we saw them, and that was only 2 weeks ago. So credit to Saginaw Valley's leaders on that team for sort of righting the ship, it seems. This team is, they've had a bad year so far. They're 3-10, which is, it's just something that you never hear from a Saginaw Valley team, but they look so much better today. So, yeah, they lost that game 3-2 though, and then we went on to the next game. Michigan State staying on the featured court here at IM West, and they took on number 1 GVSU. That one, for all the viewers that did not see it, was another classic, another overtime game. GVSU takes the win 3-2 in overtime, but it was a great game all around. Michigan State. Overall, they didn't get the win, but you can still have your head held high if you're MSU because of the way that you played. And we're getting Dylan Fettig here joining the booth, it looks like. Dylan, how's it going?
I'm still a little nervous after that last game there.
Let me unmute you first. All right, go ahead. Try it again.
I'm still a little nervous about the last game there. That was a thriller.
Yeah. So can you take us through what you're looking at for these two teams? You've seen both of them play so far this year. Saginaw Valley looked pretty good in their first game of the day against Michigan State. So what are you looking at for both teams? What are the keys to victory?
I'm super excited about Saginaw's players. They got some older guys that are really stepping up, and their younger guys and girls are stepping up their game too. They're becoming more well-rounded, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. Central Michigan, I haven't seen them yet today, but 2 weeks ago they were looking pretty great too. Both of these teams are a little top-heavy, I would say, maybe. They have
I think you're right.
Top 8 people maybe on both teams are significantly more experienced than the rest of their team. So I think it's going to come down to which team can keep their leadership players in longer in this game. I think it's going to be very important. So,
yeah. So we're getting ready to start here for all of our viewers. We got a lot of dodgeball ahead of us still today. And yeah, let's just go through real quick MDC history. So this is the 16th annual Michigan Dodgeball Cup, which I believe makes it the longest standing regular season tournament in college dodgeball.
Likely.
Yeah, most likely. I don't know if Ohio Dodgeball Cup's been played every year since 2005 as well.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
They started maybe 5-6 years ago.
Interesting. Anyway, well, they had an Ohio Dodgeball Cup before, but they allowed other teams to come, like Kentucky would go to it and stuff, so it wasn't really the same thing.
Right.
Anyway, with that said, it's been around for 15, this is now 16 years. Michigan State won the very first MDC. Since then, a little bit of a curse going on where they have not gotten above 500 at a single Michigan Dodgeball Cup since then, which is pretty crazy to think about.
It's an incredible stat, really,
yeah,
especially on their home court.
Yeah, and considering they're a team that's made the Final Four 12 times, I think 11 times possibly.
Over that span?
Yeah, over that span. The fact that they haven't gotten above 500 at Michigan Dodgeball Cup on their home court is a pretty crazy stat. and they'll have a chance to break that curse today. They have Western Michigan coming up and then Central Michigan to end the day. If they can go 2-0 on those final 2 games, that curse is broken, and the only one that's left is the Michigan Dodgeball Cup Championship and National Championship, which they've got a great team, so they have the ability to possibly break those curses. So
They do. They had several guys that were looking beat up after those first 2 games, so we'll see how they come out on their 3rd and 4th game of the day.
Yep.
Endurance seems to be their Achilles heel.
In Captain Peyton Schuster, who's injured, he has mentioned that as one of the main things. He says he wants them to be a little bit more resilient, even if they do take a loss or a bad point or something like that. So anyway, moving on from that, we got MSU in 2005. They did take the victory. Since then, it's been Grand Valley who's won nearly every time. They've lost 3 Michigan Dodgeball Cups since then, and those were in 2010 to Central Michigan. That was a decade ago. We actually had that Throwback Thursday a couple days ago when CMU broke a 41-game win streak for Grand Valley. Saginaw Valley with 2 MDC titles to their name. They have 2012 when they also went on to win the national title, and then 2014 when they were national runners-up that year. So a lot of history behind this event. Usually when you're looking at the MDC, you're seeing whoever performs best at this, you can chalk them in as a team that's going to make the Final Four and potentially win it all. So right now it looks like we're about to get started. Central Michigan against Saginaw Valley State.
So it looks like both teams are breaking their huddles. Central Michigan, they have their coach, Michael Riley, here, along with assistant coach Casey Bailick. Their team is led by Eric Nelson, Kyle Garner, Doug Daniels. They're a pretty young team. Someone called this a rebuilding year for them, but they took Grand Valley to overtime last year in the Final Four. So,
yeah.
And they graduated 2 players from that team. So,
and as Tony and I were kind of talking about right before you joined on, this is a test for Central Michigan to see where they're at today. I know that they had a great game against Michigan State, but some are going to put that on Michigan State 2 weeks ago, kind of giving up a little bit after they lost to GVSU. So we're going to see how it goes in this one. If Central Michigan looks sharp, then they could be the second best team at the Michigan Dodgeball Cup. They've still got Grand Valley and Michigan State still to play. Who knows? Maybe they can take GVSU to overtime and beat them in OT or something like that. We'll see.
I don't think either team has seen the other play today because they were both on opposite courts the first
You're right.
2
You're
rounds.
right.
So that might come into play here as Eric Nelson gets a throw through his blocking ball. That's not him. He's over there. Let's see. Saginaw has 2 balls to their name and just threw a catch. So Central with all of their players back on the court now and 8 balls. So they got a big. Somebody stepped over the line. It looks like number 37 for Central, and Jake Bruce with a big catch brings back in 23 Chase. Saginaw's working hard to get the ball control back. Pretty lively first point here. Kyle Garner getting hit, trying to retrieve a ball close to the throw line. Blocks into his shin there. Saginaw's comfortable on their back line, just waiting for Central to push up. They're getting all their kills with counters. Now Central is realizing that and working on getting backwards. See, ball control split 5-5. Central's looking for some, the team's looking for some leadership right now. They're looking around. They look a little flustered out there. Saginaw's sticking true to their game, staying on the baseline. They're doing that by resetting quickly. This is the longest they've taken before throwing, and that was only 3 or 4 seconds. Both teams is trying to work the other in the neutral zone, trying to get back to their own baseline to play defensively. Central is down to 9 players. Saginaw looks like they have 10 players. So 1-man advantage to Saginaw.
And I don't know if you've mentioned this yet, but is he calling that a catch?
I hope not.
I hope not too. So talk a little bit about the players for CMU. I know that you have very high regard for one player on Central Michigan, and you think he's an MVP candidate.
Well, let's talk about him when he's back on the court.
That's fair. But also we got Eric Nelson, who one thing worth mentioning is he was not in attendance 2 weeks ago when they did beat MSU. So him being on the court, he's a leader for the team. So
I think a lot of people were counting the Central team out after 2 weeks ago. Their showing against MSU or against Grand Valley was no one was giving them a chance. But
yeah,
they have the firepower and the catching ability to be able to hang with any team in the league. I think their main point of emphasis is just playing as a team, playing intelligently, and playing within themselves. You can see when they start to lose momentum, they'll all start looking around like, what should we do? They need the Eric Nelson, Kyle Garner to step up and kind of direct their players. Saginaw's just throwing quick resets. They do not want to be in the neutral zone. They're doing it effectively. They're having well-placed throws, and I'm actually very impressed by it. Besides that one, just as soon as I say it, they throw short ones. 2 short ones. Could be close to okay. Oh, that's the ball's over, just as I said it. Jinxed it. 3 throws in a row that didn't reset the shot clock, and now it's ball's over. I'm not sure what Jake is saying. Oh, he's requesting that the outline for Central be back from the play area. So Central has all the balls now. 9 players to Saginaw's 10 players. We're having some equipment issues over on Saginaw's sideline. Getting some tape on a finger. And here we go. I'm going to look for, if I was Central, I would be going after either number 24 for Saginaw.
McDonald
for sure. Or number 52, Jake Bruce, in the middle. Those are their 2 playmakers.
But also 2 great catchers.
You're right, 2 great catchers. So number 99 for Saginaw goes out.
I love number 1 for Saginaw Valley. His last name's Baller, which is the word I would use to describe him as well. He's good. I think he's a rookie, actually, but he's a guy that they count on a lot to make throws now. Oh, and a nice catch by Nelson.
Oh. He was baiting that in all the way. So that ball's over. Wow. Great catch from Rudzinski on the front line there. That ball's over was huge against Saginaw. They had the man advantage, and now they are down 3-4 players now, and on the 10-second shot clock. So Central's looking. They got in Jared Brown on that catch, who's a leader for the team.
Before we get too far, what would you have predicted the score to be of this one? Nice catch.
I would have said Central by a slim margin.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I would have said maybe like 3-2 Central.
I would give them a 2-point margin, actually.
Gotcha.
But Saginaw really impressed me the first game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's
Saginaw looks. Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Central is slinging balls out here. They're throwing harder than I've ever seen them throw.
I think that it took them a semester without Austin Breggy and Casey Bielik to realize that they can all throw too. And now they are. Oh, and a catch. Kyle Garner goes down for a second time this point. Dylan, any thoughts on that?
No comment. We'll talk about him second point.
Josh Rick makes the throw, co-captain for Saginaw Valley State. He was the one that Tony Stumpo interviewed in the pre-MDC tournament here, the pre-MDC show, the pre-game show, and he said a lot of things about how this team wants to kind of turn a corner after last week.
Boy.
And he makes a long throw that's caught there.
Got caught in the secondary there.
Yeah, Saginaw. And Coach Riley telling him to push up here. Saginaw Valley, when they have their full roster in, they look so comfortable, and that's sort of what is usual for a Saginaw Valley team. When they got everyone in, they are so good at playing together, but right now they look lost.
I'm very interested to see how they come out in the second point after this showing, because you're right, they were completely comfortable on the back line. They were making reset throws. They were actually winning the point until they got the balls over. I don't know what happened now.
It looks like Oliver is not thrilled with that call. He thinks that it clipped someone, and we couldn't tell from here, but he thinks that it clipped someone, and the ref, Kevin Wynn, called ground on it. So that player got to stay in. Not sure if it's really going to matter all that much. We have a balls over against Saginaw.
So this number 15 for Saginaw looks like a freshman, and he is Kyle Krupp. He's stepping out to conserve clock time and possibly bodily injury.
Sorry, say it again.
He stepped out to conserve clock time.
Okay. And it looks like we have. Is this the clock?
So Saginaw goes down that point. I hope they stay mentally strong, because the first half of the point they played extremely tough. They were getting people out on the counters, and they looked solid on their back line. They got to make sure to make the throws count when they're just trying to reset the throw count, so they don't get in bind like they did there and lose all of their balls.
Yeah, and against Michigan State, there were times when they were communicating so well, and they just looked like the better team out there. So, they need to. You got a couple coaches in the huddle now too for Saginaw and for Central Michigan. So.
So I'm gonna look for Central to just keep their foot on the gas. They like to play in the front line. They like to play up there, and Saginaw likes to play back there. So we're gonna see a lot of action.
We definitely are. We may as well stay
court.
on this screen that we're on right now.
Right.
That's facing to the right side of the court.
Coach Riley claims they have all the balls, but they in fact only have 7. They're pushing up. Central's pushing up the throw line, and they're just doing single throws with 7 balls. Here's another single throw. Gets out number 35 for Saginaw.
Ooh.
Doug Gannett.
Ooh, good look there. And I guess one thing.
Yikes, he got away with one there, making that long throw, just kind of lobbing it in. If the Central player was paying attention, he could have caught that for sure.
And Jared Brown pushing up quickly. Oh, wow. He took someone out, Chase Roloffs for Saginaw Valley, but he did no defending of his teammates.
Yeah.
And one thing worth pointing out for Central, they actually do not have their full roster. Casey Bielik came up and told me this earlier. So Austin Greeno, jersey number 20 for Central, one of the guys that plays in the middle of the court for them, does a really good job. He's not here. So CMU is without him, but they still have players like Jared Brown, Jawanza Edwards, who do a good job of manning the middle of the court. Good look on that cross.
Edwards does a great job blocking and holding the front line. He's a hard target to hit. He just kind of brings in balls for his team.
He's a guy that you will frequently see as the last man standing for Central Michigan. Oh, wow, what a cross. And I think something that has gone under the radar is just how good some of Central's throwers are.
I know, that was a hard throw, and he threw all the way across the court. Wow. Baller with a big catch.
Yeah.
Hardly even looked like he saw it. Kind of bounced off him, and he kept his eyes forward.
Oh, and an easy throw and catch to Nelson. Oh, wow, what a catch.
Jared Brown's pace is incredible for CMU, but it can also get him in trouble if he runs up there by himself.
100%. And he needs his teammates to be at the same speed as him.
Saginaw could find themselves down 2 points here early if they don't make some catches. They're stuck on their baseline with only 4 balls. That hit the ground.
That was tough. It would have been. Like, but yeah, you would have.
Saginaw sticking to their game plan, though. They're trying to stay on their baseline, making reset throws, looking for catches, looking for counters. Oh, and that ball goes right through his body. Could have been a big catch for bring in his captain, Rick.
Yeah, they've got some of their best players in the outline. Rick, Stevens, McDonald, Roloffs.
Yeah, that's a loaded outline right there.
And Stumpo was mentioning from the first game of the day, he thinks McDonald's their best player. So
I would say he's top 3 for sure.
Or no, I guess he said Jake Bruce is their best player, but McDonald was their best performer in that first game of the day.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that for sure. McDonald has the ability to.
He's all-around player. He can push up. He can push the pace. He can make the big throws. He can make catches. But right now he can't do anything because he's stuck in the outline, and CMU is up on the throw line making good team throws.
It's refreshing to see them playing so well as a team, CMU, making team throws. We didn't see a lot of that in the Grand Valley Michigan State game. Central is playing so fast. I don't think Saginaw knows how to deal with this. Central's giving them no ground. So Saginaw goes down to 5 players. It'll be on the 10-second shot clock. And they should look to slow down the reset throws.
Yeah, that's what happened actually against Michigan State too. They are not comfortable in this situation, and sometimes they rush their throws when you've got to work the clock now if you're Saginaw Valley. The game changes. Oh, and that lucky that he didn't get caught there. Shot clock counting up. Oh. And he made a catch. I don't know if his feet stayed in,
I
though.
think he stepped out, but the ref's definitely not going to call that.
Oh, drop there.
These team throws are just destroying Saginaw.
Minus the one they caught.
Well, was that a team throw?
Actually, you know what? It was a solo throw. I'm wrong. Oh, Jake Bruce
stays
stays in.
Toe in.
He's safe.
Wow.
He stayed in by a centimeter.
That was fantastic. Catching is keeping Saginaw in this point.
Good dodge. Saginaw can win this point still. 10 and a half to go in the first half here. Michigan Dodgeball Cup, game 3 of the day.
Who's wearing the gray shirt for number 1?
He's a new player. I'm not exactly sure on his name. We'll check and see if the number is correct. What number does he have?
He has number 1. I think it's one of Jared's jerseys.
Okay, so I'm not sure, but he was a player that 2 weeks ago at Grand Valley, he was someone that had a ball in his hand a lot. Central Michigan's counting on him to make plays. So while he is probably a rookie, he looks like he's a guy that has already developed into a good player.
Yeah, he looks like he has good court awareness.
Yeah. Yep, and you see he just got handed another ball right there.
So Central got down a couple players. Now they're playing a whole different game. They're trying to trap Saginaw in the neutral zone instead of staying the front line. I'm interested to...
Oh, and Josh Rick drops a catch. He set himself up perfectly, but just couldn't make the play.
Is that Ryan Stevens that made the throw? Who was that?
Who was it?
Scott Amberger. He's been making those crosses a lot, and players are just not seeing them. Saginaw's back on the 10-second shot clock. Long reset throw. And Bergia makes a throw. Saginaw is trying to figure it out. They need to figure out that when you're on the 10-second shot clock, you should wait out your opponent. Oh, they're calling him out. He didn't think he got hit, but I believe it clipped his foot.
They're calling him out. Garner pushing up in the middle. A little bit of confusion on CMU's side.
Yeah, it's interesting. They sprint up to the line, and then they just kind of look around like, what should we do? Oh, so close to a catch. That kid's throw is really developing well.
Oh, there they got him.
Reach for a catch there.
Yeah.
So we're down to 2 players for Saginaw and a timeout.
Timeout called. 7:52. 7:53. 1-0 CMU, but it looks like they're about to make it 2-0.
I think the ref's trying to say that whoever hit Jake Bruce stepped over the line, possibly. We'll see what they come out with for a call. Kyle Garner is going to go out, I guess. It looks like they're calling him out for stepping over. And Jake Bruce gets to remain in the game. That's a huge development.
So what exactly just happened to make him stay in?
So the ref ruled that Kyle Gardner stepped over the line before his throw on Jake Bruce. I thought Jake got hit by 2 balls, but
No. So they did 2 throws and they were both high, but Jake reached.
Yeah,
and it went off his fingers. I don't know if the other one hit him though.
Right.
If it did, then
he's in now though. So I guess that's.
But at the same time, this is the way I see it. If 2 people throw at you, one of them steps over the line as they're throwing, it's kind of unfair to you if you get hit by the other ball because you're getting attacked by someone that's over the line.
Right. That's a fair point. Yeah.
So I would argue, yes, it might have been a fair hit from the one guy, if he did even hit him, but in that type of scenario, I would argue he should be allowed in still. Anyone that made a play on that guy, if they stepped over the line, then that guy should be allowed to stay in.
I like that. I don't know how you would word a rule for that. But
yeah, that would be pretty impossible to rule.
But he's in now. So captain comes in for Saginaw. Captain goes out for Central.
Yeah.
Big play.
Not sure if CMU is going to do a solo throw here. They are. Oh, my. He's out.
He definitely bobbled it, but it looked like it hit the ground.
It had to have touched the ground.
No, I thought it hit it first, but he's out. Saginaw has 2 players left. Their freshman in the corner is hunkering down. He's just trying to. Okay.
Number 15, Kyle Krupp, a freshman for Saginaw Valley State.
He needs some coaching right now. This is a tough situation for a freshman to be in, and he doesn't know exactly what to do. So let's see who they come out after they. Jake Bruce is talking with one of his coaches,
And I think,
it looks like they might go after the freshman.
yeah, I think Central's just really, really wary of throwing at Jake Bruce, and they kind of want to. Oh no, they're going to get him. Nope, just pump fakes on Jake Bruce, and they throw out Krupp. One guy left now, and now the team throw comes and it get.
Wow.
They call him out.
There's some confusion there, but he did get hit in the foot. And
Yep, they called him out.
2-0, Central Michigan with the lead.
Is that only 1 point?
2-0.
No.
6 minutes and 47 seconds left in the half. So we will see a third point started for this half. Saginaw should look to gain some momentum here.
Can Saginaw score points quick? I just don't know if they can. I see that as.
I think they can, but I don't think they can with the strategy they're using right now.
Exactly.
So maybe they change it up to see what happens here. Or they just play for halftime and they look forward to the second half to see if they can make a comeback. But if you're Central right now, I would say step on the gas. Let's get this point. Let's bury them 3-0 at halftime. It's tough to come back from 3-0. Seeing a lot of long faces on Saginaw's sideline. They're not playing bad. They should not be feeling bad for themselves. It's just the little things like making good reset throws, knowing when to go for a catch and when to not.
Comes with time. They have a young
comes
team.
with experience.
Kind of what I was saying in the preview article. They kind of were left with a bare cupboard a little bit last year. I mean, has Saginaw had a great recruiting class in the last couple of years? No, they haven't. They've maybe picked up one or two solid players, but it just feels like Saginaw Valley had a lot of ground to make up on the rest of the Michigan region.
Yep.
And they have a lot of rookies that are starters on this team.
They do.
And
they're looking good. The freshmen are looking great this year. So
it's just the fact that they're – oh, that's a nice hit by Doug Daniel. Or Kyle Taylor made that throw.
Yep.
But, yeah, they're just not a too experienced of a team, so they're going to be a step or two behind these other schools right now.
That's why I would really like to see all of these teams go out and play other teams because – right now, they're basically just beating up on each other and gaining no ground on the standings. Saginaw, wow, that was a fantastic point-blank catch made by Scott and Bergia. They're playing fast. They want this point.
Oh!
Wow.
Headshot by Kyle Garner. My goodness.
I missed the headshot because I was watching the catching fiasco going on in this side of the court. But Central wants this point. They're pushing hard.
Good. And Scott and Bergia, one of their best throwers.
He made a fantastic point-blank catch right on the throw line. And then followed it up with it. Wow.
They call ground? Wow.
I don't think that hit the ground. So Saginaw's trying to just hold out to halftime, looks like, really. 5 minutes left.
Oh, nice hit by Garner. Oh, good catch.
There's the catch.
That was number 18 for Saginaw Valley State.
James Silk.
Second-year player for Saginaw, so that's one of the few guys that in the last couple of recruiting classes that is paying dividends here. But wow, Doug Daniel just took down Stevens, and I don't know how he didn't block that.
Central is throwing hard, man.
You got 4. Ooh, wow. 4.5 to go. Central can take this point, 100%. They've just got to keep playing their game. And now you're seeing a couple good plays on Saginaw's end.
Great block by Jalen Stafford.
Stafford was the lone player on Central Michigan's team that wasn't a starter at Nationals back in 2018.
Lord.
Wow, I don't know how he didn't make that catch. But Stafford has improved immensely over the last couple of years, and he's a really good catcher now. Oh, what a catch!
That's 3 catches this point alone.
He could be the most underrated player in the country.
He is. He just, besides right now, he just quietly gets stuff done.
Yeah. I mean, you see him he's counted on to make a lot of Central's throws, and he has been all year. But when it comes to like the highlight reel type plays, you're going to see those from Eric Nelson, Kyle Garner, Jared Brown, stuff like that. It's not always going to be him, but
It's like the 3rd time.
I don't see why he doesn't get possibly some votes for all Michigan at the end of the year with the way that he's playing.
He's playing fantastic right now, and if I'm Grand Valley, who they have to play next, I'd be worried about that guy right there, number 85. Central is playing very well right now.
Yeah, I mean, but with 3:51, it looks like 3:48 is what it says on our screen. So 3:48 to go. Do you think they can close out this point? Because
There's only how much time we start
think-
with? 6 minutes, and now they
yeah,
only have 5
they-
players.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Saginaw's on the 10 count now with Jake Bruce in the outline. So I think it can be done.
Like, at this point, it might be even more wise for Saginaw to step out, put time in the second half.
Really? That's interesting. So you have, with under 4 minutes to go in a half, if a point ends, that gets rolled over time to the second half. So if Saginaw all stepped out right now, they'd have more time in the second half to score points.
They would be down another point.
I don't know. It comes down to what's easier to execute, them
Right.
scoring a point in the second half or them surviving this next couple minutes.
Well,
They've still got 5 guys, one
yeah.
catch, and they're off the 10 count. I would roll with them right here.
I like that they, at very least, let the first couple seconds play out because Central's playing much differently right now. They're playing slow. They're playing controlled. And that's something that Saginaw can wait out. So, yes, I think waiting the clock out, trying to stall till halftime and take it to a 2-0, leave it at 2-0 instead of 3.
Yeah.
It's probably the best.
Yeah, I mean,
decision.
3 points is pretty tough to come back from. Wow. And Central is not doing themselves any favors right now.
They're trying to make plays. That's what they're trying to do right now, and they're reaching for balls they shouldn't.
Did not hit him. Ooh, 2 crosses. Central's making long throws now.
Saginaw needs to figure out that when they're in 10 seconds, just wait out the clock. They're doing quick resets, and they're just shooting themselves in the foot because they have to throw 2 balls for every one of Central's.
Scott Imbergia makes a hit.
Oh, okay.
They're calling ball. Oh, so he blocked it. And then he got clipped by Jawans Edwards.
You gotta pay attention to the game. He was too worried about what the.
Wow. Easy catch, and now there's 3 left for Saginaw. 2:04 to go.
Caleb Frank making a catch with a ball in his hand. No, not a chance. Ball hit the ground first.
3 left. Couple rookies left in the game.
I think the captains are talking to their coach about stepping out right now.
Three freshmen left in the game for Saginaw. 1 goes down there. Now you got 2 guys left. Minute 40 to go. You got to see if you can survive here. Make a catch.
Number 35 is a freshman.
Right here.
Wow. He's been playing great this year.
Julian Green, rookie for Saginaw. A standout rookie. And alongside him is Kyle Krupp. And he makes a good reset throw, but now, poor timing on that for Saginaw. And Jared Brown dives to make a catch and misses it.
35 is David Hart. It looks like we
my bad.
got the names mixed up. So, yeah, he's a junior. Now he's ballless. Scott Imbergia is just launching balls. He's playing out of his mind right now. Oh, Hart reaches for a catch and drops it. We have 40 seconds.
That's a catch.
And that's a catch.
And that'll do it for the first half.
Central goes up 3-0. And only 36 seconds will roll over into the second half. So we will start back up with 25 minutes and 36 seconds. Central has a 3-point lead. I don't know if they're going to keep up the pace or if they're going to slow it down. I'd be interested to see.
So that kind of ties into what I was about to say. If I'm Central right now, you kind of go, you kind of take it slow here and conservative in the second half because you got 2 more big games ahead of you today.
True.
So you kind of put this one on autopilot with a 3-0 lead against Saginaw Valley State. You have coming up right after this, GVSU against CMU on the main court, featured court. We're going to have that game on the stream right here. And then directly after that, they'll play their 3rd straight game on the stream, and that'll be against Michigan State. And you know Michigan State's going to want to get back at them after the 4-1 drubbing 2 weeks ago in Allendale.
Yeah, Central has some rookies that haven't seen any court time yet, so I would look for them to get subbed in. 3-point lead is pretty significant. You could afford to get some of those guys some play time here.
While we're on a break here, do you want to go ahead and give your thoughts on, in terms of the national, at a national scale, where do each of these teams fit in your opinion?
So that's what I was saying, that I would like to see them play teams outside of the region because it's hard to tell. Saginaw's they have played Miami and they have beat them, I believe, who Miami just today beat the undefeated University of Ohio. So that's pretty significant. So let's see, Saginaw's probably right around the 15 ranking, 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, in there someplace. But the way they're playing today, I could see them up in the lower half of the top 8. I could see them competing with many Ohio teams, East Coast teams, South teams. They're a good team. They just need to figure out the finer details, like we mentioned earlier, getting the reset throws in, knowing when it's their team's throw, knowing when to wait out the clock so they don't waste balls when they're on the 10-second shot clock. Central, on the other hand, is also a very team to just place within the national scheme. They have players that are right up there on the top with the best players in the league. Kyle Garner, Scott Ambergia is playing like an All-American right now. He's throwing and catching better than anyone else I've seen here today. And his pace, he's running up and down the court. It's actually very impressive to see coming from him. So Central, I believe I had them as a dark horse team after the first half of the season, and I think that's a great place to put them. They could finish. I think they are definitely in the top 8 in the nation. So I think they get 1 win on Sunday of Nationals at the very least. But I could also see them getting to the Final Four. That would not be a stretch by any imagination, seeing as though we said earlier that they were a couple plays away from being in the national championship game. So, yeah, these are 2 teams that are very interesting. They're doing a lot of developing. There's a lot of long faces over on Saginaw's side right now because of the way the day is unfolding. But they got a good team. They got a good squad. They're developing their team, their players well. They're making strides every time that we see them play. I'd like to see them get out of the region and play some out-of-region teams. Maybe get some quality wins against some Ohio teams. Give themselves some confidence boosting. before nationals, and we could see them making a run on Sunday as well. So we're going to take a short break and
All right, I'm back. What'd I miss?
I mentioned I had Central as a dark horse team, and I think that's the best thing you could, like the most accurate thing you could say about them. I think they're good for at least one win on Sunday of nationals, possibly even 2, 3. We'll see how they go. We still got a lot of time before that. It'll be telling how they perform against MSU and Grand Valley later in the day here. The players are meandering back towards the court. They'll be switching sides here, so we'll have Saginaw on the left and Central on the right. There's no real advantage in this facility to sides, so I don't think that'll come into play, but we'll see how it unfolds.
Central Michigan coming back out. Looks like we're going to get ready to start the second half of action here. This is round 3 of games. For those of us who have just joined, we have Central Michigan taking on Saginaw Valley State here. 3-0 lead for Central Michigan at the 16th annual Michigan Dodgeball Cup. For those who don't know the format, we have 2 25-minute halves in this format. Anytime you eliminate the entire other team, you're awarded a point. So Central Michigan did that 3 times in the first half, and they're up 3-0. This is a battle for the Michigan Dodgeball Cup, and it's basically just a full round robin for the 5 schools that are in attendance. Those schools are number 1, Grand Valley State, number 5, Central Michigan, number 7, Michigan State, number 13, Saginaw Valley State, and the number 22 team in the country, Western Michigan. So those are the 5 schools, and we're going through a full round robin. Every team plays every other team. The school with the best record at the very end will win the Michigan Dodgeball Cup. Right now,
so we got some scores coming out of Ohio. It looks like Akron beat Bowling Green 3-2. That's an upset. We have
the big one is Miami.
Yeah, I mentioned that. We have Ohio winning over Ohio State 4-2.
Okay.
UC is up on Akron 5-1 with little time left in the game.
So Cincinnati going to get probably their biggest win of the year.
Biggest of their team's history, probably. Yeah. Akron just upset Bowling Green. Now UC.
That's a huge boost for Cincinnati in the Gonzalez standings.
Absolutely.
And I think that they were like 19th, and only the top 16 teams in the standings make the championship bracket at nationals. All the rest of the teams play in a secondary bracket. So if Cincinnati wants to make it in that championship bracket, they need to get top 16, and that's a win that's going to help them. Any win over a team that's ranked ahead of you is huge.
Oh, here we go. Central getting back to their roots. They used to be the most physically talented teams in the league. On the run-up, they would get a vast majority of the balls, and that's what they are doing again here today. That last point, they started with 7. This point, they started with 6. So.
And it looks like we're going to see kind of what you predicted. Some younger guys may get some action. Maybe they're the ones that have the ball in their hand more for Central. Hopefully we see that, but only a few of the younger guys have a ball right now, actually.
Yeah, it looks like they might be pushing for that 4th point before they do a bench swap.
Yeah. In this day and age, a 3-point lead is not totally insurmountable.
They actually came back from a 3-point lead themselves against Cincinnati earlier in the year.
I'm not going out. I won't go any farther than that.
Number 1 is wearing A Balin shirt. That's not Jared Brown's shirt. Interesting.
That boy, Josh.
So we have all players are still in.
Move that mic a little forward and then.
Trading throws back and forth here. No clear advantages to either team.
If Saginaw can get this point, they've got life.
They do.
That's an easy catch.
And the shoe goes with the catch.
And that's Hart, who, as we determined, is not a rookie anymore.
Yeah, if he was a rookie, I was going to be incredibly impressed with his court awareness and dodgeball skills. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 11 on 12. Saginaw with a one-man advantage, and
only 4 balls on their side. Now they have 5. And we're going to have a slow second half, it looks like.
We are. Saginaw, I think they know that this tournament is just being used as a building block for their success for the rest of the year. So they're going to be happy. They would love for a win, but they're going to be happy just taking even a couple points from all of these teams today.
I mean, their performance against Michigan State is definitely a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And I think one thing that you definitely feel strongly about is a team playing to get better as opposed to not playing in order to preserve what their ranking is right now.
Right.
Saginaw Valley, yes, they're the 4th best team in Michigan according to most people right now. So at MDC, they're going to get 3 losses. But is it really all that bad for them to lose to teams better than them? No. The Gonzales standings is set up so that when you lose to number 1 GVSU, it's not knocking you that much in the standings. If you lose to number 5 team in the country, it's not going to hurt you that much. But on the other end, if they pull off a win against number 5 Central Michigan, number 1 GVSU, it's such a huge boost in the standings.
Yep.
But again, none of that really matters as much as just being able to improve. In Saginaw, we've seen them the last month play against a lot of top competition, and they're reaping the benefits a little bit now. They're a much better team.
Yep. There's only so much you can do in practice. You can develop your skills as a player, but really getting the flow for the game, knowing when to throw, knowing where to throw, talking together, all on one side as opposed to playing against each other in practice. You can only develop that during a tournament and during games.
Not to mention getting a better understanding of your opponents that you face. And there's a nice catch in the corner by one of Central's rookies.
I don't know if he's a rookie. He's playing.
We're going to have to get a confirmation on that from someone. Who knows? But, yeah, like I was saying, they're going to get so much better at understanding how to adjust their strategy to different opponents by playing different opponents. Practice doesn't do all that much.
Yep.
And I would say one of the best examples of that would be Michigan State, who has played nice catch by Edwards. Michigan State has played Grand Valley 5 times now. They got blown out in a few, and now in the last 2, they've forced overtime just because they've gotten used to the strategy that Grand Valley plays, and they've closed the gap. I think we have a team catch.
They're calling a team catch. Interesting. It looked like they both missed their throws. But there's some confusion on the court now, but it looks like they're going to stand as a team catch. So Saginaw has 9 players, and Central still has 12, looks like, maybe 11. That throw will not count. Wow, he's going to count. Okay, interesting.
Good reset. Good stoppage.
We're seeing the role switching a little bit. Saginaw has ball control and is playing more on the front line.
Yeah, I think part of it is Central knows that they don't have to push the pace anymore, but also Is that really what Central Michigan wants? They're a red-hot team right now.
Right.
Dominates Michigan State 2 weeks ago. Now here they are playing against Saginaw, and they got 3 points in the first half. Wow. I don't know if they want to slow this momentum down because they got the 2 hardest opponents of the day coming up right after this in a row, Grand Valley and MSU. Jawans Edwards, good reset throw by him.
So all the teams are still alive technically right now in
Yeah.
the tournament.
Yeah, we could have, besides Western.
Besides Western, correct. So Saginaw would need to pull a comeback victory here to stay alive. Central needs to win this game and beat Grand Valley.
That's a pop ball. So I think he's still alive.
Yeah, he should still be.
He honestly, I think he caught that ball.
I don't know. Actually, know what happened. We had a bad angle. But so yeah, Central's still in control of their own destiny here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're undefeated. GVSU undefeated. And then Michigan State, we'll see what happens with them. And they're going to need help, obviously, with GVSU beating them. But
Yep.
they're the only team that needs help. So when it comes to controlling your own destiny, technically the only 2 teams with that are Central Michigan and GVSU.
That's correct. From what we've seen so far this year, Grand Valley has the advantage over Central. They like to run teams down that stay in the neutral zone. And Central, besides this point, has spent the majority of their time in the neutral zone. So that really just plays in Grand Valley's favor. We'll see if they are conscious enough to be aware of that strategy coming in their game next and see if they change something.
Very slow point here to start the second half. We now are at 17 to go. So 8 minutes have passed. No one's scored a point yet, and no one's even close to scoring a point yet.
Saginaw's leading the point
Yeah,
slightly.
and Jake Bruce just took down Doug Daniel, so that's a big out.
8 on 9. So, yep, slight advantage Saginaw, but they do have a vast majority of the balls. We'll see if they. That was 2 throws, but not together or on the same target.
Yeah, they've done that a couple times this point.
Their coach has dropped his head in his hands, and he's not looking pleased with how his team is performing. Saginaw's looking.
Oh, catch.
Great job by Jake Bruce.
I'm going to be honest. He made that catch and then he looked away from Central Michigan's side, and he got thrown at again.
Yeah.
But the rookie saved his life.
His rookie did save his life, and he retrieved the ball that he would have dropped over the line. So that was a great play by the rookie.
Yeah. Stevens pushing up. I think Stevens will make the throw from the middle here. Nope. Ugly throw.
Is that number 18?
They definitely have the advantage now, but now the question is, are you playing just to get points, or are you playing to win this game? Because they – oh, what a catch. Good throw there. Yeah, so Saginaw's stepping up the pace a little bit. They understand – they smell blood in the water here.
They do.
And they need to push the pace because we're under 15 to go. And you're talking about a team that doesn't score points very quickly. They need to hurry up.
They just all look calm, collected, not really interested in doing a whole lot.
They're not. They're definitely not rushing it, and that's one thing that I've seen from Saginaw today is they're playing within themselves instead of leaving themselves open.
Like you said, though, there comes a point where you need to
play a bit more aggressive. Kyle Garner makes a nice catch on Jake Bruce. That's a massive swing.
He did exactly what Jake Bruce likes to do up to others and bait him in for the easy catch.
Drop catch. We got a couple more updates from the Ohio tournament, actually, as Stevens makes a throw. So the updates from the Akron tournament: Cincinnati beats West Virginia 4-2. This is not right. This is not right. So they put UC twice in the update.
Yeah. I don't think UC played West Virginia.
So I think they must have played them earlier in the day. It's just an update on Cincinnati's games.
Yeah.
But the most recent one is Cincinnati does beat Akron. Final score was 5-2. Win for the Bearcats. So pretty big win for them. I wonder how that vaults them up in the standings. Oh, what a hit by Nelson.
So Cincinnati has one more game on the day. Do you know who they play?
They play Ohio. So it's going to be a loss, most likely. So that's going to drop them a bit. But again, Ohio's first loss on the season was today. They're ranked 3rd in the standings.
Interesting. So Central is down to 7 players. Saginaw is down to 8 players.
How many of Saginaw's players left are true playmakers, though? Because that's the thing. When you look at Central side, they have guys that are going to make big plays. I think Central has the advantage.
I don't know. I mean, 99 has developed into a pretty good player for Saginaw. Yeah. I've seen good things out of him.
I agree.
His throw is vastly improved.
He's throwing hard, but he's just leaving his throw up high too much.
True.
But it's fine. I mean, he hasn't been caught, really. It's just been not super accurate.
Right. They got Chase Roloff in. They got Baller. I think it's honestly pretty even right now.
Chris Rucker, number 11, a rookie for Saginaw Valley, goes down there.
It's an interesting throw by Stafford. I saw him warming up, and he was throwing some heat, but that one I don't even think he gripped. He just kind of sidearmed it in there to reset the throw, maybe.
Speaking of sidearms, Eric Nelson, he seems like a guy that usually does sidearm, but today, a couple of times I've seen him do an over-the-top throw that kind of just dips into the opponent, and I think he needs to keep doing that.
Honestly, I think that might be like what happened that made Central's all their players look like they're throwing harder. They
throw over the top more?
Throwing over the top more instead of their sidearm.
They looked
standard.
at Austin Brege's throw and said, oh, okay, we can all do that too.
Yeah.
Because, and there it is again. He's one of the guys that does throw sidearm more often is Kyle Garner, but he mixes it in every once in a while. He changes up his arm slot depending on what throw is needed in what scenario. Oof, good look there.
Oh, my goodness. That was a very hard throw. Saginaw's down to 6 players and only 2 balls. Central's kind of pinned him on the back line this last couple minutes. And they don't really look like they know how to get themselves out of this situation. It's hard when Central's only throwing 1 ball, so you can't really gain.
Yeah, they're killing time.
That's exactly what they're doing. Killing time, resetting throws.
And number 1, you saw him right there just mad at himself because he didn't reach for a catch. He should have reached for it. It was probably within range where he could have made the catch, but he was just under the mindset of dodging still. They need to go for anything they can here, though. 3-0 lead for Central Michigan, and now we are at 10 minutes to play.
Central's playing very intelligently right now. I'm excited for their next game against Grand Valley.
I'm excited for their game against MSU as well.
We got some great games today.
This is probably the least competitive game that we're going to see on the featured court all day. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think that the way that Central's playing right now, what would you say is the score against GVSU? I could see easy catch there. I could see like a 4-1, 4-2. I can see Central scoring points on GVSU. Oh, what a catch.
That was incredibly impressive. He caught that ball in the middle of his follow-through of his throw. Wow, and he's a freshman.
I'm wrong. He's a junior.
Okay.
He's a rookie, I believe.
He's a rookie, but he's a junior.
We'll have to confirm if he's a rookie, too. Maybe we're just making up lies. But either way, he's one of Saginaw's best players. I'm going to just go ahead and say that.
That is true.
I'd say he's their 4th best player right now.
Today, for sure. So we have Eric Nelson in the back corner of the court, taking a knee, just trying to conserve energy.
Kyle Garner throws another catch.
Kyle Garner's not having a good day.
Not a good game, but his team is.
True.
So maybe he's saving all his plays for next game.
That's a sign of when you're on a quality team, when you're debatably the best player on the team, but if you don't have a good day, your team still has your back.
Yeah, and Nelson just threw a catch, so now we're looking at Saginaw probably going to make a run at.
Who caught that ball? That was a great catch.
It was either McDonald or it might have been Josh Rick, co-captain. Long throw, that's an easy catch.
Okay, he might be a rookie.
Oh, and Stafford probably not thrilled with himself there because he could have made that catch. Stafford with the throw, good low throw. Jake Bruce back in apparently made someone's catch, brought him in, so Saginaw in full control. That just shows you how big catches are in this sport.
7 minutes left in the game. Jake decided not to lay up for that catch. Probably a smart decision.
Oh, and there. Oh, my.
Well then, Radzinski got away with that one. Long throw, should have been an easy catch, and he dropped it. That's pretty reminiscent of the last kill in the Grand Valley game.
True.
Against State. Hart makes a diving catch on Stafford.
6.5 to go now.
Central down to 2 players now as he fouls it up with a kill on Stevens.
So this one's probably going to end with Saginaw scoring a Oh, never mind.
Radzinski, Taylor, who's a great left arm for Central Michigan.
Taylor last year at the War made, I think it was against Towson, where he just took over a point with catches.
Really?
So he's a guy that when he's one of the last guys standing, he can come up with big catches. Yeah, it was at War last year, I remember, because I was streaming that game. And Central played, I don't know if they played Miami as well. I think it was against Towson, but he made some huge catches back to back to back. And now he's going to have to make a throw. Good placement, but Central makes 2 throws instead of 1 there.
Right now, they're all looking for catches anyways. So Frank tried to help his teammate by putting in a counter throw, but it didn't pull off the throwers. Oh, wow.
Oh, no, he's out. He's out. That's no catch. Good call by the ref. Schuster saw it. His back foot was out of bounds, and his front foot was not touching him.
It was, for sure. It was a good catch. A good-looking catch, but he stepped out right before the catch was made. So now we're down to 1 player for Central. And he gets a kill there as two Saginaw players went for the catch.
They're fighting for stats there. They both went for the catch.
Let's see if he can come up with a catch or a dodge.
Went for it.
Went through his hands. 4 minutes and 41 seconds left from the clock.
That was only a 22-minute point. Holy wow.
So as we figured, Saginaw's not great at taking quick points against this Central team.
That was a 22-minute point according to the clock guy down there.
I think his math is off a little bit. It's 21-minute point, but
How much time do we have?
4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay, so yeah, it was exactly a 21-minute point.
So it looks like they're going to play it out.
Yeah. Again, stick with us. This stream is going all day long. Next game up is number 1 GVSU taking on this Central Michigan team.
So these are the top 2 ranked teams at the tournament.
And CMU's on a nice little win streak. I would say they look better over the past couple weeks than they have all year, starting with at the end of that GVSU game. Since then, they've looked great.
Absolutely. We'll see. I hope I see some rookies in for Central.
Yeah, you have to think that their top players for CMU take this one out. You got 4.5 minutes. You already have this game locked up. It's 3-1. You're winning the game.
Right.
Save your arm because you have the number 1 team in the country coming up right here.
Yep. Who cares if you lose the point?
Yeah, 3-2. A 3-2 win's the same as a 3-1 win in the standings. It does nothing for you except pride. So.
And
Saginaw's rolling with their normal roster. It looks like
number 55 got subbed in.
Okay.
But the rest of the players, played the rest of the points. So maybe they're looking to take another point.
That's what you get. Hey, something block. Whoever says nothing, I do what I want.
So no one gets out. Oh, number 35 gets out on the run up for Saginaw. Hart.
Got the big dogs now. Just ready to go. I feel fresh. You feel fresh? 30 minutes.
as you hear CMU's players down there next to the next to the microphone.
They're ready for the big dogs.
We can mute us right now and put all of it on them.
I don't want everyone just, be such a long break before.
They're excited about the break. Lack of break there is.
Yeah.
The first one was like
Mike's hot. So,
My potty mouth.
they had to warn Peyton.
Peyton Schuster's ugly. I agree with you. Dude, hey, this would probably fit half of a beer. That bitch is tiny. Hey, folks.
Hey,
Every time you speak down
when you guys want to get away from the mic.
so you don't want to be heard. Get away from the mic. Get over here.
I thought it was good. I was entertained. I liked it.
You know what? One mic slip is organic. Let's not force it. Don't force it.
I bet it could fit a full beer.
We're slow playing right now. The rookies are getting some throws in.
All right, so we got
Saginaw's not really looking to do much. They know they got more games ahead of them.
stick around. I believe we have Shadid Drakeford taking over in the booth next game. We got a big one. We got GVSU against CMU. And I think we may have Stumpo. And hey, Stumpo, are you coming in the booth for next game?
Probs, yeah. That's a game I was looking for.
Okay. So it looks like we're going to have Stumpo and Shadid in the booth together, and that's an easy catch thrown. So that's going to be coming up next, and probably the next 15 minutes that game will start. That's GVSU against CMU. So stick around. Barber making another good play. Oh, clipped his foot. All right, so before we get into the next three games, this is the halfway point. Halfway point through MDC. What are your final predictions on these next three games on this court? You have GVSU CMU, MSU CMU, and then GVSU Saginaw Valley to end the tournament. What are your predictions?
I think Grand Valley's going to take care of business against both Central and
Get
Saginaw.
rid of the break. We're like an hour and a half behind.
This score can just run into the next game.
What's the next game?
Like maybe 10 minutes.
Let's go.
You guys play West.
Y'all can sit down while the big dog.
Yeah, we play TV upstairs.
Anyway, go ahead. Your predictions again.
I think Grand Valley's going to take care of business. They're going to get the 2 wins. They'll beat Central 4-2 and Saginaw 4-1.
Okay.
The MSU Central game is more of a toss-up. I think MSU comes out and they want vengeance for the previous game 2 weeks ago, and it might go 3-2 MSU in regulation.
Yeah, I also had MSU predicted to win that one. It really is up in there because Central Michigan, if they come out hot in that first couple points, I still think that they could run away with the game against MSU, even though I do believe that MSU is the deeper team, more talented team, has a better top end. I don't know. It just Central Michigan played so well together to start this game against Saginaw. They scored 3 points in the first half. If they play like that, they can hang with MSU. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because they got Grand Valley right after this. Hey boys, we're not gonna have a break probably, so you may as well start warming up.
Yeah, we need to start this.
Unless you're warm. Oh.
2 outs for freshmen on Central, so that's cool.
1 minute to go. And I think it's safe to say I can tweet the score out.
It's 10 seconds, 9 seconds.
Oh, so our clock is off. Oops. And that's a final, folks. CMU defeats Saginaw Valley. Final score of 3-1.
Should we bring in alumni Casey Bailey to get his thoughts on the team this year?
Yeah, absolutely. We got Stumpo coming in.
Back in the saddle.
All right, Tony.
We saw a dip in viewership with Dylan on the mic, so we're going to go ahead and fix that now.
Yep, that's fair.
Alrighty, at this time, we're have a little break. We're not doing a full-on break like was originally posted on the schedule here. We want to keep this thing rolling, so we're going to have Central Michigan against Grand Valley here in the featured court. Western Michigan will be playing MSU over on court 2. We'll see if we can bring you live updates from that one as well. Hang with us here, 2020 Michigan Dodgeball Cup.
long of a break are we doing? Okay.
All right, everybody, we're going to be moving on to the next game here at the Michigan Dodgeball Cup 2020. On the docket, we have Central Michigan coming off a big win against Saginaw Valley, taking on your defending champion, number 1 undefeated Grand Valley State Lakers. And it is my pleasure to bring in the booth the co-voice of dodgeball, college dodgeball, Shadid Drakeford. Shadid, welcome.
Thank you. It's about time, too.
He's back.
They kept
Couple-hour break.
They kept on saying that, this would never happen. 2 voices, 2 current goes going at it, giving people what they want. But apparently viewership was a little bit down the past couple of games, and we had to give people something to get excited about. And we got to give the people what they want.
That's right. It's kind of, I'm reminded of when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage teamed up, the Mega Powers. I don't know. I feel like us two on the mic at the same time, there might be too much energy up here.
I don't know, man. We're going to need some energy, man. 'Cause that last game, man, I don't know, man. We need something.
Well, hopefully Central comes out strong against Grand Valley and puts on a good show here. They played really well against Saginaw. I'm not calling an upset, but I think they're going to keep it close, and the fans that decide to watch are going to be highly entertained here.
It's definitely going to be a very competitive game. I know the last time Central Michigan played against Michigan State 2 weeks ago, it was a good win for the Chips. So I know they're going to be fired up and ready to go.
Yep. We'll see how much energy that took out of them. It seemed like they got out to that big lead and just kind of sat on it, knowing they'd have to do a lot to lose. So they wanted to conserve some energy to be able to hang with Grand Valley here. Grand Valley coming off a win over Western Michigan over on the second court, so they'll be ready to go. They've played a couple games in a row, but they'll be all right.
Oh yeah, without question.
One of the things we did give Grand Valley credit for earlier against Michigan State is they seem to be pretty well conditioned. They were content to just keep running against Michigan State and sort of turn it into a track meet for them. We'll see if they can sustain that energy level against Central Michigan.
Without question. Alrighty. Hopefully we get to see some headshots in this game. I already told both teams that we need some action. Need somebody in a body bag. Respectfully.
That's right. We're gonna send our sideline reporter Kevin Bailey down there with a camera, see if we can't get some good highlights here, get some content down on field level. I know there's been a couple headshots, nothing too eye-popping today, so let's. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but come on, we know what we're here for.
Listen, when you're playing dodgeball, you have to understand there's equal opportunities, but equal opportunities also mean equal consequences. So, sometimes you get yourself a big catch, other times you're on the receiving end of a headshot. It is what it is.
That's right. Alrighty, both teams are warming up. Like I said, we're gonna keep this break short. We did have a scheduled break here. We are behind schedule. Typical dodgeball. Doesn't matter who's running it, what format. These things don't always run on schedule. And so we're going to try to make up a little bit of time here by getting this one going. And now let's kind of take a look at what we've seen today. Saginaw Valley is 1-2, wins over Western, losses to Central and Michigan State. Michigan State's 1-1, so this, let's see. And then Grand Valley is 1-0, Central's 1-0. So really, Central's 2-0. And Grand Valley's 2-0. Yeah, my bad. So anyway, this game is effectively for the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, something crazy could happen. Grand Valley Central could beat Grand Valley. MSU could then turn around and beat Central, and we're looking at a three-way tie there. So if Grand Valley wins, they should run away with this.
Yeah.
So looking at a couple different scenarios.
Yeah, Central Michigan, they should be coming into this game absolutely nothing to lose. I mean, a lot of people think like Grand Valley's going to win without question. So, Chip should be a little bit fired up and looking for an upset.
We'll see. Hopefully Grand Valley didn't, and in no disrespect, but hopefully they didn't get lulled to sleep against Western Michigan. Hopefully, Michigan State's given them a couple scares the last few tournaments, and so, I think that's kind of kept Grand Valley hungry and humble a little bit, even though they are still undefeated #1. It's like, they've shown that, there are teams out there that can hang with them. And Central's got almost a full squad here. So we'll see, with the return of Eric Nelson. They are missing Greeno, but with the return of Nelson, if they can hopefully hang with Grand Valley now.
Absolutely. Key players for this game for Central Michigan, obviously, it's going to be Eric Nelson. Definitely made lots of catches today. Kyle the Gun Garner, number 19. It's also got to play a factor as well. Also believe that number 1, Browns, also going to have to push the tempo a little bit more. And then last but not least, we got Doug Daniel, number 28.
I'll tell you, one of my key players for Central Michigan, a guy that you didn't name, but, he'd be an OT6 if I'm their captain or their coach, Jawanza Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
Very elusive player, tough out, makes some catches. I think you saw in the Saginaw Valley game, he made some really athletic catches. On the flip side here, Grand Valley, some of the usual suspects. I mean, you got Ben Smart and Nolan Stanko, a couple All-American candidates, in my opinion. Ben Smart, probably going to be a consensus All-American and is in the running for Player of the Year. Grand Valley, it's their depth. Who are you looking at on Grand Valley besides the knowns?
I mean, those are pretty much like the key players that we all know very well. Also, we got Alice, cannot say his name, unfortunately.
Janauskas, I'm going to guess. Yep.
Number 71. Looking for him to have a big game as well. But, yeah, normally the normal suspect. And, of course, we cannot forget number 26, Skinner, my man who always loved delivering the headshot to unfortunate people.
Yeah, he was bringing it in the Michigan State game. Missed that catch early on, and he didn't let it rattle him. He was throwing heat in that game all day long. And then Josh Hill coming back off the injury. It's looking more and more each tournament like he's, I'll use air quotes here, back. So good to see him playing healthy, coming off surgery.
All right, so it seems like some of the captains are talking it over to make sure that everything's playing fair and even. Usual trash talking. I'm just kidding about that. But no, they just want to make sure everybody's on the same page before we get started. Seems like Mike Riley is about to fire up the troops.
He better be careful, man. He flexes, that shirt's ripping. It doesn't stand a chance.
Nah, man. I'm pretty sure my man bench easily 450.
Easily 450?
Yeah.
I mean, my dude's big, but that's okay.
Just trying to give something entertaining for the audience. I know he probably don't bench 450, but
we know the women, all three of them probably watching the stream are appreciating the extra attention we're giving him right now.
You right.
Ever the showman, Mike Riley,
Oh,
out there rallying the troops here.
Oh, he give a good show now. He give a good show. People will be entertained one way or another. Whether he's on the sideline, getting mad hype, or you may accidentally hear him on the mic downstairs. He'll give you something worthwhile.
That mic downstairs has been worth its weight in gold with some of the mic slips we've had and things like that. We apologize to the younger viewers, if there's been anything inappropriate. But, the adult viewers, I'm sure, are having a good time with it, having a good chuckle at some of the candid conversations going on between players and refs and teams jawing at each other and talking about, how many liquid ounces we could fit inside the actual Michigan Dodgeball Cup.
Oh, my goodness.
Which, I can't see how any team would know. I mean, I doubt that any winning team has ever poured a beverage in there and drank from it. I mean, who would even do that?
Yeah.
Especially straight-laced Grand Valley. No. All right, and Central about to break huddle here, so we're going to get started here. Michigan Dodgeball Cup. For those of you watching, just joining us, share the post, share the feed, tell your friends, family. This is going to be a very good game. You have two of the top 5 teams in the nation right now about to go head-to-head. Grand Valley, number 1, undefeated, lone remaining undefeated team.
It definitely seems like
Central's hype.
It's about time. Look like we're about to get some action for real.
Yep, captains are going to be meeting in the middle here. Mike Riley with the signature throat cut, probably going to get himself a yellow card. No.
Nah, too early for that.
That's right.
Too early. Maybe 15 minutes in, he'll probably give himself a yellow card, but not this early.
He'll wait till USA Dodgeball Nationals do it, and this will be the year he finally gets a yellow card for it.
Oh my goodness.
He gets warned once a year, so.
I mean, how many times you gonna get warned? You should just give it to him by now.
Nah, he's too entertaining on the court, man. That's the thing. It's like MLB umpires and things like that. You don't want the refs. People aren't paying to watch you ref. So why give a showman like Mike Riley a yellow card, take him out of the point? That's what people are here to see.
You right.
So,
you
all right. Getting ready to get going here. We got number 1 versus number 5, Michigan Dodgeball Cup. Potentially, like I said, if Grand Valley wins this game, they'll walk out of here with the cup yet again. If Central wins, there's still a possibility that with some help from Michigan State, they could.
Speaking of which,
Michigan State would be helping Grand Valley. So if Central takes care of business, they can walk out of here with the cup. So.
Yeah. So early on, Brown goes down immediately. It seems like number 12, Edwards, is going to be filling in his middle spot.
Colin Freeman leading the charge here on your radio dial right
there. What
a catch on Ben Smart.
I literally said number 28, Doug Daniels, going to be playing a factor. He made a catch against the Ben Smart.
You called that one.
Sure did.
Right.
Of course, I get Brown right back into the game and he can go right back to his middle position.
Nice low throw by Blake Clevenger. Better block by Kyle the Gun Garner.
That's right. All right, good block by number 7. Questionable.
Ooh, they're saying that's not a good throw. Immediately, Britt Skinner bails him out with a follow throw there.
Ooh, another catch by Doug Daniel.
Yep, and the talented freshman Williamson from Grand Valley. So the one thing Grand Valley will say, all right, no big deal, though. That catch doesn't bring anybody in. So early two-man advantage here for Central. Central, if they gather momentum, they cannot let it slip away. Grand Valley is the ultimate team at taking what momentum you have and just flipping it on its head.
Yep. Probably the best team in the country when it comes to making
And
adjustments.
down goes Peach.
All
Tyler
right.
Peach, probably a freshman All-American, goes down. So quickly, Grand Valley down 3 players. Central still at full strength.
Not even 2 minutes into the game, they're already down 3 players. We'll look for the Lakers to make a quick adjustment. Here come Alex. Good reset throw.
All right, so Grand Valley kind of grouping up to the sides there. If you'll notice, they're leaving the whole middle of the court open. I think they want to prevent any sort of wall ball from being played. And Blake Clevenger with a nice low throw.
Yeah.
He knows he's out. Got ref back on the back line.
Okay, Rally.
All right, little bonus content.
Oh,
Nice. Ooh, Colin Freeman with the high throw over Eric Nelson. He's lucky that one didn't make it to the second level and get caught. So yeah, you'll notice Jared Brown will man the middle for now with Nelson and Kyle Gardner on the sides. Should Brown get out, you probably see Jawanza Edwards shift into that middle position there. Central, a little unconventional. I kind of credit Riley with sort of starting that, sort of manning the middle. Normally you see teams play a corner strategy first, and then the middle kind of plays off of that. But with Central, everything forms from the middle and works its way out.
Yep, which is one of the reasons why Jared Brown got to stay in the game as long as possible. Because they're literally leaning on him, to make sure that.
And there's a good counter throw. Oh, I thought he hit Coda Gallagher. Maybe just missed him.
I thought so too.
Tough to tell from up here.
Skinner was looking for a headshot.
Skinner's got to be careful. He kind of pump fake a couple times, and he didn't really have much help. Josh Hill came up at the last second, but one of those days, one of these times, Skinner's going to leave himself kind of hung out in no man's land.
And Eric Nelson with a great catch.
Yeah, that takes out Colin Freeman. And then Scott Ambrugia gets hit out right after that, so kind of a 1-for-1 there. Right, pace kind of slowing down here. Central Michigan sort of feeling out what they want to do. Looks like we're going to get a throw at the bottom of our screen. Oh, and he kind of crossed him up there a little bit.
Good block.
Ooh.
Really good block by both teams.
Yeah, Josh Hill thought he had Nelson out there, but
Skinner by himself. Skinner
gets hit in the arm.
Right on the shoulder, too. He left himself exposed.
Yep. Like we said, he likes to run with a full head of steam and get up there. Nice throw by Nolan Stanko on Kyle Gardner.
Missed catch by Gardner.
Yeah, he usually eats that up, but.
Oh, what a shot! And Eric Nelson with the arrow letting you know is good.
Yep.
Oh, man. That was a long cross.
And suddenly, Grand Valley down to 6 players. Don't look now, but Central on the verge of taking this point here. They're up 10-6 man advantage.
I literally said they have to play like they have nothing to lose because they really don't.
Ooh, Stanko just missing wide. Number 37, I have to figure out who that is. I don't have his number in front of me here.
Good reset throw by Eric. Blake Kevinser looking to push up. Oh, you got some help from number 22.
Yep. Holicky has 2 of the balls, and Holicky makes a throw towards the middle.
Ooh, number 7 goes down for GV.
That's Coda Gallagher. He's one of their stronger throwers, in my opinion, a fringe overtime player for them. So next throw will put Grand Valley down on the 10 clock. So they got to be careful now.
Yeah.
And if you're Central, you got to keep them on the 10 clock, and you got to keep leaning and leaning and leaning on them.
Yeah.
One catch gets them off 10. They can get comfortable again, but wear them out early here. About 5.5 minutes gone by. First half, 0-0 game. This game is going to go a very long way in determining the overall champion for today, as both of these teams are undefeated coming in.
Yep.
All right, Grand Valley moving right to left here.
All right, Blake is looking to do something.
Blake Clevenger makes a throw. Eric Nelson counters, just misses below. You can hear Riley a little bit upset about the count, wondering if the counter realized that Grand Valley was on 10 o'clock. So I tell you, Josh Hill's been really good with his accuracy and his reset throw today. He's been keeping everything uncatchable, and it's been everything's been a legal throw from him, and it's not been in the catch zone. So, ooh, nice throw by Daniel, just misses Josh Hill's foot. Immediate counter by Blake Clevenger.
Yep.
And Central's going to try to pull Grand Valley up. Hill with a long throw. Oh,
that was close. That was close. He's out.
Okay, yep, that looked like a trap to me.
What's the call, ref? Ref calling him out.
Yep, head ref Jake Bruce all over that.
Yep. Could have gone either way, but...
Yeah, I don't think Grand Valley would have been mad if he'd have stayed in, but they'll gladly take the kill.
Without question.
Clevenger and Holicky at the bottom of your screen.
All right, let's see. Left side of Central Michigan looking to do something.
Yeah, looks like Taylor, and I can't tell. Number 1, he's wearing a Beelan jersey, but I'm looking and see who that is.
Oh, missed catch.
Oh, Holicky, and then
missed catch.
Yep, Holicky just misses that catch. Kind of got down, got the look he wanted. And if you're Central, you got to be happy. You have not thrown a catch this point yet, and you've got Ben Smart lurking in the outline. He was the first out and has not been caught in. That's rare in an NCDA match. You know, first player out usually gets caught back in, and it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Central Michigan definitely have a game plan. They executed very well thus far.
Nice quick traded throws there from Brown and Clevenger. Riley directing his troops, get all the way back, make them run up, wear them out.
Josh Hill looking to throw. Oh, another catch.
That's the first one he's hung, and it's a catch.
Another catch for Central Michigan.
Nelson and Clevenger trade. No hard. Oh, and now there's a ball kind of sitting there in no man's land. Nick Hale might have a shot at getting that.
Central Michigan looking to do a team throw, but they call a timeout.
Yep, Grand Valley timeout. They want to at least get that one ball and maybe rest the guys that are left in. So
both teams have 5 seconds to throw. Yeah, so for those of you who are just turning in for the first time, the NCDA does have a 15-second shot clock unless you have less than 6 players, which then it becomes 10. But because a timeout was being called, you go up to the nearest integral of 5. In this case, both teams has 5 seconds to do a reset throw. You don't do a reset throw before 0, you give your balls to the other team.
Yep. So Central maintaining not only a distinct player advantage, but also ball advantage. They have 9 of the balls. You know, they can set up a team throw here and not think twice about it. Even setting up a team throw, if they miss, they're going to still maintain ball advantage. So we'll see who they target here first. You got some talent left on the court, to be sure, for Grand Valley. 2 overtime players in Clevenger and Nolan Stanko. Clevenger's known for some overtime heroics, making a catch when he was last in by himself. Stanko's made some, we'll say, significant catches in his career.
Yeah. All right, and we're about to get started.
Looks like they're both at 5, so Clevenger's going to have to throw.
Ooh,
and
that was
they're
close.
charging.
Ooh.
They managed to stay in.
All right, so error goes down that exchange. Blake's still in there.
Ooh, they're saying he fell out of bounds.
Ooh.
They might be thinking that his hip hit first. Ooh, Grand Valley might get a good bounce. Nope, that ball stays with Central. Good heads-up rush by Jawanza Edwards there, keeping the ball on their side.
Ooh, they put 2 on him. They made sure he was out.
Clevenger tried to pre-counter a little bit, and they just put 2 on him, and he got stuck on his follow-through there.
Yep.
So Nick Hale and Nolan Stanko left.
All right, look like they're going to try to do a team throw on the right side this time. Or not. He's going to do a single reset throw.
Yeah, they're going to force Nick to come up, and then they get the counter throw.
Man!
So that's what they wanted. They wanted to bring Nick up for a throw, and then give him, and Brugia was just right on top of him, ready to counter.
Get wrecked.
So
absolutely got wrecked on that exchange.
You got Nolan Stanko 1-on-7 here. He's in the corner. He's got to be careful. They got some catchers left. Smart throw high. Gets over that first level. They got Ambrusia creeping back, staying behind these guys in case there's a tip ball or the throw sails over one of them. But
that's another catch.
All right. And just like that, 9.5 minutes gone by, first half, Central Michigan with a convincing first point. I tell you what, man, one of the fears I had coming into this point, I said, did Grand Valley get lulled to sleep? You know, Central's coming off a big win over Saginaw, still warm, same court. Grand Valley just came out absolutely flat.
Yeah.
You know, they got a couple of guys got taken out early, and they just kind of, no other way to describe it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I will say, though, if there is a weakness for the Lakers, and it's not really a big one, but it can come up from time to time, is that sometimes they might just get just a little bit too complacent. And you pretty much point out they're looking kind of flat. But look for them to make a quick adjustment. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game is tied up 1-1 before halftime.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I give Central a lot of credit. They did not throw many catchable balls, maybe 2 when they were missed. A couple people did miss some throws, but Grand Valley didn't have an opportunity to make game-changing catches like they did against Michigan State. If they make a catch, before they're down to one person or something, that brings in Ben Smart, and we might be talking about a whole other game right now.
Yeah.
But you got to credit Central Michigan. They must have saw something, and they took advantage.
Let's see if they can keep up the momentum, though.
Yeah, we've seen when this happens at Grand Valley. When they lose a point, they tend to come out and get one pretty quick.
And very convincingly, too.
Yep. And
Ooh, miss. Ooh.
and Kyle Gardner misses the throw, then he gets taken out. So
Ball in the middle. Look like GV's going to get it.
a little bit of a role reversal here.
Ooh, wait a minute now. Not so fast. Who's going to blink first?
Oh, and Juwanza Edwards gets taken out, but then Central just collapses on that ball because they got an extra one. But you've already got Juwanza Edwards and Kyle Gardner, two of Central's top 6 players. Nice
Another
throw
kill.
by Ben Smart. 2 of their top 6 are already out.
3 kills in the last 30 seconds.
Yep. So that's what we were saying. When Grand Valley gives up a point, it usually takes the other team a while to kill them, and Grand Valley will strike quick after that. So we'll see. Central, they have to weather the storm. That's their goal right now. Good help by Skinner there. Low throw by Josh Hill, top of your screen there on Eric Nelson.
9 players for Central Michigan, 12 for Grand Valley right now. Not even 2 minutes into the second point.
Correction, Grand Valley does actually have 11 and now 12, so there you go.
Did I speak that into existence?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
The profit.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, low throw, Ben Smart working it the other way. And ooh,
So
okay.
many pump fakes.
Just kind of missed in between Jared Brown's feet there.
But not by much, though.
No, so Central Michigan down 8 players to 12, but no, sorry, excuse me, 9. Nope, 8. I was right. But they do have ball control right now, and Central's a dangerous team when they keep ball control. It's been that way for years.
Yeah. But this is going to be the momentum switch right here.
Eric Nelson with a higher throw, and
That's another
Josh Hill with a good counter to take him out.
That's another kill. 7 plays left for Central.
I feel like his blockers just kind of let Josh come up and get that clean look. Another counter for Josh Hill.
Oh,
Colin
team
Freeman.
catch. That is a team catch. Colin's still in.
Okay, he got caught sleeping a little bit, hitting the back, but bailed out by the team catch. So Grand Valley will maintain all 12 players on the court. Central quickly down to 7. So we talked about Grand Valley's ability for that quick strike.
Uh-oh. Got him.
And Daniel, Ben Smart, just fearless. Him and Britt Skinner are 2 of the guys. They don't care. They come in with a full head of steam and just let it fly.
As they should.
Britt Skinner, he relies on just raw power.
That's a wonderful
what a
catch.
catch by Coda Gallagher.
Oh, my goodness. And just like that, Central Michigan throws another ball. About to be fought. Yep, they're on 10 now.
I was going to say, Ben Smart and Britt Skinner like to get a full head of steam, and Britt relies so much on power, and then Ben Smart, also a power arm, but can also put it anywhere he wants, that accuracy. And quickly Central down to the 10 clock here, and now Grand Valley smelling blood in the water there.
Bennett's more of a technical power thrower, while Skinner is kind of more of a in-your-face, I'm just going to take you down type of thrower.
Yeah, I guess when you hear people talk about like physical football teams and things like that, they'll call it smash mouth. That's what I would consider the way Britt Skinner plays. He just plays smash mouth style of dodgeball here, and don't blink now, but Central down to 3 players after 2 quick kills, and here comes Ben Smart again.
Ooh, that was close.
Almost
Ooh,
gets
that's
countered.
a headshot. That's a headshot by number 11.
Yeah.
No Stinko.
We got one of our sideline reporters, Dylan Fettig, down there with the camera trying to get some of these highlight reel plays for us. So we're down to Ryan Stevens and Jared Brown, 2 great players, but they're
Miscatch.
and yeah,
Oh,
they're
man.
staring down a full gamut of Grand Valley players here.
Oh, man. Brown's the last player for Central. You only got 1 ball left. Look for GV to just unleash on him. As soon as he throws.
They did a little wall ball there and force him to make a throw. If I'm Grand Valley, just unleash. Oh, that second one hit him in the mouth.
Oh, man.
He almost made that catch and then gets blasted in the nose.
That's going to
again.
be blood.
Oh, God.
That's blood.
He was already hit there earlier, correct, and had a bloody nose. So,
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you get yeah.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
bad for him, good for the viewers.
I knew that was going to happen. Not necessarily that he's going to get hit in the face, but once he gave up like that last throw, he was in no man's land.
Yeah, got to give him credit. He hung in there against 4 throws, tried to make the catch. One of them kind of hit him in the chest, but he was kind of falling backwards, and that second one connected right on the chin and nose there. So, like we talked about, that quick strike ability of Grand Valley, they just took a point in 4 minutes. Almost 10 minutes, 9.5 minutes for Central to get their point off Grand Valley. Grand Valley comes back and says, nope, we're number 1 for a reason. 4 minutes later, it's a tie ball game.
They're so good when it comes to just making adjustments on the fly and during the game.
They're also, we used to say this about Doom back in the day. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. They were the ultimate momentum team. You thought you had them down. The minute they got just a sniff of momentum, it was over and it was in their favor. And Grand Valley, as soon as they got 2 early kills on some of Central's better players, bam, they were like, that's the momentum we need. We got this. It's over.
Yep. All right, so yeah.
Jared Brown looking pretty rough out. He's hanging tough, though.
Yeah, so he definitely got a bloody nose. Kevin barely did some shenanigans, just threw the knock him downstairs in disgust. Have no idea why.
I'm assuming that the booth that's over there where the rec center worker is probably has gauze and stuff. The guy working right out there in that booth probably has something.
Nope.
I got a first aid kit.
Nope.
Oh, he doesn't? Really? Otherwise, the actual rec center where the workout equipment is, they got to have stuff. Oh, you've never been there, but...
All right, so pretty much Brown just got absolutely racked in the nose by pretty much 2 balls thrown at him at the same time, and he's trying to get medically clear to get back on the court. So there's kind of currently a stoppage of the game right now.
Already bled through.
Jesus.
Trying else just get out.
Like I said, he's trying to get back on the court as quickly as possible because he understands that his team need him. However, Coach Brennan Marzil does not want any of that whatsoever. He's telling these guys, start the game up right now. I don't have time for Brown to get his nose clean up. I'm trying to get this point before halftime. We currently have 11 minutes and 12 seconds left. I know currently the clock says 11:11, not in regards to 7:11. So as soon as they start the clock, we do like a quick pause.
We got a couple of NCDA legends jawing at each other over their mile times, and Riley and Kevin Bailey. That's must-see TV right there as well. All right, head ref Jake Bruce gets us started again, point 3. Alex Janauskas with the first throw. Got to give Jared Brown some credit, man. He's been hit in the nose a couple times today. It's bleeding. He's got half a pack of napkins up there trying to stop it, and he's still running the middle.
Yeah. Very noticeable on camera, too.
We'd like to thank Domino's for providing said napkins.
Yes, much appreciated.
Because apparently the facility didn't have any. Oh, and nice hit on Janauskas. The facility desk there didn't have a first aid kit. Kind of surprising.
That is kind of surprising.
Not trying to put my grad school alma mater on blast or anything, but
I'm about to say, isn't that?
Josh Hill with a catch to Kyle the Gun.
Kyle the Gun got it with him.
I think he's known more for catching, and his nickname is definitely more of a throwing nickname, but
that is true.
He does it all.
Yes, he does. Great all-around player.
So now you've got Stanko and Josh Hill on the outline. Nobody for Central, so we'll see. This is kind of how Central started the first point, was able to get a win here.
Yeah.
A couple key players in the outline early, and just kind of kept leaning on them from there.
Currently, Central got 12. GV got 10. Uh-oh. Ben sees something.
Yeah, he's so fast in transition. He'll either go for the quick kill there if he sees it, or the reset throw, because he's so accurate enough, to where he's gonna be able to bury it and keep a safe throw. Let his team get back.
Good block.
Yep.
Ooh.
So
okay.
you had Kyle Garner throw over at Coda Gallagher, who immediately ran back. Taylor, nice job of staying in front of Kyle Garner, backing him up and blocking.
Ooh, another good block by both teams. Doug Daniel was able to get the ball back.
Britt Skinner pleading his case, thought that Imbruglia maybe blocked it into his foot. Refs not having any of it.
Less than 9 minutes left in the first half. Ooh, what a kill by Brown.
Janauskas tried to stay up there to back up Gallagher, and then he ends up being the victim of Brown there, who Brown's got 2 of the early kills for his team, so he's not letting that nose bother him at all.
Not at all.
If there was one word I would use to describe Brown right now, it's probably gritty.
Very gritty.
I'd say grit, not to be confused with the Philadelphia Flyers mascot Gritty, but
oh man, that guy is a straight savage, man. He be doing the most at times. Be doing the most. But anyway, back to the game. Looked like Central Michigan about to do a reset throw. Looked like Brown's going to take it, or not.
Yep, nope. Edwards, they're going to keep a ball in Brown's hand. He's been their best transition player out of the middle there.
He got 2.
Ooh, and he draws 2 throws.
He was able to get 2. That's big.
Grand Valley down to 3 balls, 9 players. Central still has a full gamut of players here, all 12. So very methodical. Under 8 minutes to go. This is a pace Central likes to play.
Oh, that was ground.
Yep.
Looked like they're about to do a team throw. Riley's pretty much telling his team to do a team throw.
Yep, that mic might as well be mic'd up standing where he's at right there.
Team throw just missed. Oh, he just missed.
Oh, Coda Gallagher gets Brown.
It's only a matter of time. You playing that far up from the front. Oh, wait a minute now.
So it looks like they're calling Coda Gallagher out.
Wow.
1 for 1. So Jared Brown is out and Coda Gallagher.
What a sacrifice, but that was a good one.
I missed the full exchange. I didn't see where the throw came back towards Gallagher. Freeman with a throw from the middle, and Nelson comes right back. So now, first time we've seen it this game, Nelson is going to sort of man the center with, nope, he's switching back off. Okay. Jawanza Edwards is going to take over the middle. We've said that a couple times.
Ooh.
Clevenger draws a throw. Nice block. Kyle Gardner tried to catch them sleeping a little bit at the top of your screen there.
Well, it looked like number 24, GV's about to throw. He's creeping.
Colin Freeman with a high throw, looking to play a little wall ball. Ben Smart, big pump fake. I thought he was going to let it go. He hadn't be faked out.
The pump fake almost got him out. Almost got Central out of bounds. Ooh, missed catch by Doug Daniel.
Yep.
And GV doing their traditional, we're going to go back and we're going to get you in the transition game.
Yep, and Grand Valley, through this exchange over the last minute or so, was able to get ball control back. Only a 6-4 advantage, but noteworthy. It's the first time at this point they've had it. Pollocky misses low. Smart draws a throw.
Ooh, that was almost a headshot. He's looking for it.
Skinner was looking to make a highlight reel right there. Just missed Nelson's face.
And it got Kevin Bailey so hyped up. He's about to go downstairs to give him the news. Light him up. Ooh, the second follow-up throw got him.
Ryan Stevens takes a walk. He's out of bounds. Well, he's out.
Yeah, he's taking a long walk to the bench.
Okay.
Ooh, yes. Oh, he just.
Nelson turns away from it, hits his shoulder there. That's what we were talking about with Britt. He's a power player, and he just full head of steam. He ran about 60 feet to make that throw.
Oh, that's a drop catch.
Stafford usually very sure-handed for them.
Ooh.
Ben Smart taking out Imbruglia. And he's smiling after that one.
What a
And
savage.
we got a timeout by, I believe, Central Michigan, and Mike Riley called that one. They need to sort of stop the rally if they can.
What a savage.
Exactly 5 minutes to go here. First half, Michigan Dodgeball Cup 2020. Number 1, number 5. Facing off here in East Lansing, Michigan. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Tony Stumpo with Shadid Drakeford. Special shout out to Shadid. This stream, this quality would not be possible without him. He flew out, came here, brought all the equipment, entire suitcase full of stuff, worked last night to test everything out, got here early to get it set up, and we're very appreciative that he brought all of his talents from the Ohio East region up to Michigan here. So, Shadid, again, thank you.
Much appreciated.
And he brought that voice. So now we got the mega powers of commentary together here for one night.
Seems like people in the booth are getting hype, as they should. Already we've seen more headshots in this game than the last game, so.
Yeah, I thought the game of the day would be MSU and Grand Valley, and that one definitely lived up to it. We had another overtime thriller, but this one's shaping up to follow right in its footsteps. In Central Michigan, Eric Nelson coming back, a couple earlier wins. They've got momentum, and they're playing like, they're a top 5 team.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Some people actually had Central Michigan to be like finishing number 3 at this tournament, but worst they're going to finish now is number 2 if everything goes well.
Yeah, if they win this one, they can win the overall tournament. Grand Valley would need Michigan State to then upset them and force kind of a 3-way tie, and we would see what happens from there. If Grand Valley wins this, then Michigan State and Central will battle it out for second place, essentially. Kyle Gardner, a little bit of confusion there. Kyle Gardner makes the catch. I think Blake Clevenger was looking for someone else to throw with him, or
yeah,
he's not happy about that one. So
Kyle has been having such a great tournament thus far. Uh-oh. All right.
Nick Hale with a pretty firm throw just misses Jared Brown out of the middle.
Brown's got to be careful being in the middle. You got to be looking left and right.
All right, so we've got 7-on-7 right now. We're knotted up. Ball advantage for Grand Valley, moving right to left. Freshman Williamson.
Edwards with an amazing catch.
Oh, and then Ben Smart catches Jared Brown sleeping, and Riley's hands go up in the air. He's mad.
Like I said,
Brown's not happy either.
Like I said, Brown, you got to be in the middle. You got to be paying attention at all times. What a catch by Doug. No, wait, is that? No, that's not Doug. My apologies.
We do not have his number.
17, 31.
37.
37 is, we do not have his number. We do not know your name, sir. My apologies.
Ooh, Edwards with a great acrobatic dodge, and then manages to stay in bounds.
Ooh, what a pump fake by Gunn. The gun gone.
All right, so Grand Valley down to 5 players now on the 10 clock. As we mentioned earlier, the shot clock changes based on the number of people. Colin Freeman with a high throw.
The refs will call that. Less than 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half.
Yep, about to be 3 minutes left. So if I'm Grand Valley, you just got to try to get yourself into half, get recomposed here. Although I guess if they make another catch or two, something here, kind of turn it around, they can go for the point. They do have 9 of the balls, so Colin Freeman solo throw at the middle. Talented rookie Tyler Peach for Grand Valley holding him back. Holicky wanted that catch.
Ooh, that's not going to count.
Didn't pass the line, so Kyle Gardner's going to have to come up and make the throw.
Now, here's the thing, though. The Chips got 15 seconds. GV only got 10.
Yep.
So no matter what, CMU going to have at least 5 extra seconds. Ooh, that definitely got him.
And, okay, so
miscatch
there at the top of your screen. Some confusion about whether Rudzinski was out. Turns out both of those throws that looked to hit near or around his foot were both in the ground right in front of him. So he lives to fight another day.
Tyler
Freeman.
Tyler with the miscatch.
With a throw on Taylor there. Don't have him on the official on the roster here, so we'll have to get a first name for him, but he's had a heck of a point.
All right. We got ourselves a timeout call. 1 minute and 47 seconds left.
Yep. Shot clocks will be at 0 when we come out of the timeout here. So someone may yet take this point. That's a lot of kills to. That's a.
Why would you listen to the ref?
Wait for it.
Seems like we got some of the Saginaw players talking about their glory days when they won the Michigan Dodgeball Cup.
It's a fucking gross ass cup.
Alrighty, well, we apologize to the children at home
Jesus.
for that language there. We don't have a bleep button there, but I think they probably forgot that the mic was hot.
We have to tell them several times during every single game that the mic is hot. Every single time, at every single game, at least 5 times, the mic is hot.
Yeah, we'll be able to, I guess, we're just going to have to strike up a sports distribution deal with HBO so that we don't have to worry about who's saying what on the microphone, We'll get Dennis Leary up here in the booth with us.
Oh, man, that's going to be great.
All right, Grand Valley working. Tyler Peach with a long throw right in between Jawanza Edwards and Ryan Stevens there. Minute 15 to go here. First half, tie game 1-1.
Another catch by Kyle. He's telling him to get off the court. He is a savage.
Well, that brings in Eric Nelson. So
4 plays left for GV.
Yeah, now if you're Grand Valley, you just have to.
Somebody got hit.
Ooh, no, he's out. He definitely missed the block there. So Colin Freeman with a nice cross throw. Advantage Central now. 50 seconds to go. You got to believe Grand Valley's just going to. Good block by Peach there to save Ben Smart. But you got to believe Grand Valley's just going to do what they can, get this one to halftime, regroup.
40 seconds left.
Nelson with a throw.
Ooh, he caught his hand in the cookie jar.
Oh,
2 players left. Ooh, baby. Ooh, he
Colin
just
Freeman.
missed. Just missed and got him by the foot.
All right, so the point, what you got here, you got 2 very experienced players here. You got 20 seconds. That's
20 seconds left.
2 throws, depending on where their count is. That's all they got to do.
Ooh, that was close, but he's safe.
Nope, he's not.
Oh,
Rudzinski is taking us out.
And that's a timeout call, and that's more or less going to seal the deal. Both teams.
When was the timeout awarded? Josh Hill called it. Was it awarded? Did Colin Freeman get hit there? I missed that part. I was watching the bottom half of the screen here.
Good point.
I saw Colin slap the floor, so I couldn't tell if he was mad that he got out or if he just should have went for a catch. I missed that. So I do know that Grand Valley was awarded a timeout here, 5 seconds to go. So, yeah, I mean, if with the timeout, they're going to have to start at the baseline. That's not going to be enough time for Central Michigan, in my opinion.
Not at all.
And so looks like we'll go in with a 1-1 tie here to half.
All right, we're currently almost at the 3-hour, 40-minute mark. For whatever reason, you cannot watch this on Facebook if it reads 4 hours. You can always go to YouTube and Twitch. We'll try to start up a new stream relatively soon. Ooh. All right.
And they called another timeout. Nope, they're going to go to half with it. There was a second left, insignificant. So Grand Valley flirts with disaster a little bit there at the end of the half, but manages to get it to halftime tied 1 apiece. If you're Central Michigan, you're ecstatic right now. You took a point, and then you weathered the storm from Grand Valley. Yeah, they got that point, but you didn't let them carry that momentum of a 4-minute point into a lead eventually. So, if you're Grand Valley, you got to keep the energy up like you did in that second point. Central, keep playing discipline, make your catches. I don't know. Grand Valley is going to have to figure out. They're going to have to pick their targets a little bit better. Kyle Gardner and Jawanza Edwards are catching most things thrown at their way right now. So I don't know if you just try to bury those 2 or what, but they got to avoid some throws at those guys.
Yeah. And to be fair to GV, this is their 3rd game. I know that a lot of teams in the league, they start getting a little bit tired after their 3rd game, but they got to find a way to persevere. They did a good job making adjustments, but then Central Michigan did a better job making additional adjustments to make this a close game. You would ask me, earlier in the season if the game would have been this close, I would have been like, no way. But they proved me wrong once again.
Yeah, Central Michigan. I mean, it's MDC, man. You gotta bring it for this tournament. It's widely been considered the 2nd biggest tournament of the year to nationals.
Yep.
I think today's tournament over in Ohio is a pretty big deal. The ODC has become a very big deal as well, but MDC still carries a lot of weight nationally, and these Michigan teams get up for it. I'll tell you.
Yeah, they definitely care about that trophy. They definitely got their pride of school on the line. And this is definitely, the time of year, for players to step up, try to put a staple towards their way towards nationals.
Yeah, a lot of times you can sort of use this tournament as a springboard to how the rest of your season is going to go. In past years, we've seen a struggling Saginaw team come in and upset, Michigan State or Central when they're ranked higher than them and carry that momentum into a top 4 finish at nationals when, 2 months before that, people had written them off.
Yep.
Might be a little bit different story this year, although I can tell you for sure Saginaw Valley looks improved today. Getting a little extra curricular on the microphone down here on court level between our Saginaw Valley refs.
So since we currently have like less than 20 minutes left in the stream, we'll cut off the stream temporarily and then we'll come back on. You can still watch this on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube though, but we're just about to make a quick switch.
Yeah, so for those of you watching right now, please stick with us, stick with the updates for when we do the switch. We want you guys to come back and see this second half. It's sure to be good. So far, this has been one of the more action-packed first half. There's been some highlight reel catches, couple headshots, just the things you'd love to see in dodgeball.
Absolutely. We'll be back momentarily when we start.